He's a St. Louis radio legend. Controversial. Outspoken.
We're going to talk a number of topics with Bob Costas. Hello, Bob. How are you today?
Hey, Kevin. How you doing?
We're now joined by Missouri State Representative from Springfield, Sarah Lampy. Coach Ken Carter. How you doing today, Coach?
Sounds like a cool dude, and I just would like to shake your hand.
Gosh, a minute ago, you're ready to kick my ass.
He's Kevin Slayton. Now, all rise for the King's Court on 590 The Man.
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered around.
Oh, yes, they did.
And they gazed in wide wonder at the joy.
Pure joy.
The head nurse spoke up.
What'd she say?
Said, leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone.
You better believe it. And a good Monday or Tuesday afternoon, St. Louis. Kevin Slayton with you, back at it, live here on 590 The Man in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court after a vacation to the East Coast, up in Boston town, Rockport, Massachusetts, Gloucester. Saw the dock where they filmed The Perfect Storm, and the bar called the Crow's Nest where everyone had their favorite beers in The Perfect Storm. Sadly, many passed away, and those pictures of those people who did are on the wall in the Crow's Nest. So it was really a neat, not by neat, I don't mean enjoyable, but historical visit. Now, in addition to that, it was Derek Jeter's final game, and we couldn't have been more blessed with the most wonderful seats around. Thanks to our friend, well, I guess our couple of friends who allowed us to sit about third row between the Red Sox dugout and home plate. And at Fenway Park, I'd never been there before. You can reach out and grab the players. That's how close you are. I mean, you're 15 feet from the action. Not from the foul territory, from the baseline. What an experience. And to see Jeter's final game, and the way the Red Sox, by the way, honored him was nothing but chills. Introducing him, he runs out to shortstop by himself, and then came the parade of honors, the Red Sox, introducing many of their former living captains, including Carl Yastrzemski. Yaz came walking out. Freddie Lynn. And then captains of years past of other Boston sports. Bobby Orr came walking out. Troy Brown of the Patriots, although I'm sure when he got out there, Jeter said, Troy who? Paul Pierce of the Celtics. What, Bill Russell wasn't available? And then Aretha Franklin was supposed to sing Respect because that's the catchphrase for Jeter, and yet she was sick. So my advice would have been to cancel that performance then, but they had a substitute black gal sing Respect. And she cranked it out. She was phenomenal, but it wasn't Aretha Franklin. It seemed out of place. But it was phenomenal. Highlights on the scoreboard. Yankee fans taking over Fenway Park. When would you have thought you'd see that? Chance of Derek Jeter with the rhythmic clapping. Then in the seventh inning, Take Me Out to the Ball Game was played on the guitar solo by Bernie Williams, Jeter's friend and former Yankee teammate. And, of course, the Yankee fans chanted Bernie Williams with rhythmic clapping. You'd have never thought you'd hear those sounds in Fenway Park for the Yankees. The Cask and Flagon, which is the Boston answer to Patio's, packed before the game and after the game with mostly Yankee fans chanting Derek Jeter's name. It just never stopped. It was one of the great experiences of a lifetime. But Fenway Park, Wrigley Field, please don't ever talk about tearing them down and building a new stadium. Please, Boston. Please, Chicago. Don't ever do it. Don't do it. Oh, what a weekend. What a weekend. And then seeing, of course, the old North Church, Paul Revere Mall, Paul Revere's home, the Green Dragon Bar where they planned the Boston Tea Party and did their drinking and then went down and had their Boston Tea Party. Paul Revere was in there. Yesterday during happy hour, guy walks in dressed like Paul Revere. I said, that's It's the life I want to have in about 30 years. I can dress up like Paul Revere and go to the bar at happy hour and have a good time.
I'm sorry, who'd you say you were?
Paul Revere. Not the singing group. Paul Revere and the Raiders. The real Paul Revere.
But I mean...
You know what I'm talking about. One if by land, two if by sea. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, I believe, wrote the poem.
Who are those guys?
They were the Sons of Liberty. Glad you asked, though. And the Old North Church still conducts services every Sunday. But you don't sit in pews, you sit in little squares. It's really kind of weird. But that's traditional in England, apparently, back in the day. So anyway, all in all, a wonderful experience and a wonderful trip that I shall never forget and shall always cherish. It was a blast. Now back to the issues at hand. The Cardinals backed into the division title. I'm surprised they celebrated with champagne. That's a little embarrassing, isn't it? You couldn't win it outright, and you were playing the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, for goodness sake, and you lost 3 out of 4 to them. Royals tonight in Kansas City at the other end of the state. How exciting is that? First playoff game in KC since '85. Game 7 when they beat the Cardinals in 7.
I was thinking about Don Dankinger.
Oh, yeah. The great Don Dankinger. Yeah. By the way, everybody blames him, and I understand that sentiment. However, people have short memories because Jack Clark dropped a pop foul after that. You catch that pop foul, Dankinger is a footnote in history.
It's very similar to the Steve Bartman and then
exactly.
Alex Gonzalez dropping the pop fly.
So
still hate Don Dankinger.
Don't make errors, and you don't have to hate the umpire.
I hate him.
And then Whitey sends Andhar out there in Game 7 after Tudor failed miserably just so he could get kicked out.
That's like when La Russa sent Tavares out in Boston in the World Series after he just broke his hand on the phone.
Right. It's all. And speaking of La Russa, he fires Kirk Gibson. Gee, what a surprise that was.
And did you hear La Russa before the game talking about, he thinks that this Diamondbacks team has a bright future, but he's rooting for the Cardinals now.
He's a front runner. Bright future. They lost over 90 games. When's that future going to occur? Although look at the Red Sox, just for an example. 2 years ago, last place. Last year, world champs. This year, last place. That's an odd roller coaster ride. However, I don't think there's enough talent in Arizona to produce that kind of a result next year. And if you're owning the Arizona Diamondbacks right now, are you just drunk with stupidity, or are you starting to think, why did I hire LaRouche? He hires his buddy Dave Stewart, who pitched for him. Dave Stewart's experience in a front office is limited to a couple of weeks, I think. Then he was an agent. He's now your general manager? What does he know about it? And then Duncan, he says Duncan's going to have an increased presence and will interview managerial candidates. I remember one time when LaRouche and I used to speak, LaRouche told me that Duncan would make a terrible manager. That's what he told me. He didn't have managerial qualities. Those were his exact words. But now he's got him as the guy who's going to do the interviewing. Then he says, the leadership qualities are great to have in a manager, even though he might not have experience. But wouldn't you rather be able to have a guy that's pulled the trigger, at least at the minor league level? Well, I don't know. Arizona hired you, and you had zero experience doing anything but managing. And they hired you and gave you the team to run, which you have no experience at doing. What a two-faced, talk out of both sides of your mouth, loudmouth blowhard LaRouche is. Yeah, well, it's a big advantage if you've pulled the trigger. Well, funny, you haven't even loaded the gun as a guy running an organization, but they hired you. You don't even provide the ammunition, but they hired you. Cardinals don't play until Friday, when Wainwright will go up against Kershaw in L.A. for Game 1. 5:37 is the start. That's the first pitch. I thought that might be a 3 o'clock game, but 5:37 in L.A., that means shadows, because it'll be 3:37.
Wait, is it 5:30 here or 5:30 in L.A.? Oh, okay. Here. Okay, so it's 3:30 in L.A.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I'm not 100% sure. I just saw 5:37. I assumed it was our time. And maybe it is, but if it's 5:37 their time, that's a real odd start.
You're still probably getting shadows.
Yeah, you're going to get shadows one way or another, but at least you'd have most of the shadows filling the past the pitcher's mound by that time. So it'll be interesting to see if it's 3:37 or 5:37 our time, and it's 7:37 out there. 6:37 Eastern time, yeah. So it's 5:37 our time, 3:37 LA time. That's an odd start.
Cardinals always get the day game to start their postseason for whatever reason.
It is odd, isn't it?
Every year they get more.
Seems
day
like
games.
they do.
I like it. I like the
love
businessman
day playoff.
special.
I love the day playoff games. I wish there were day World Series games, though I don't think there's ever going to be one again. They think it's too lucrative to have them all in prime time. But it'll be interesting because you don't know which Cardinal team shows up for this series.
No, like literally though. Is Grichuk going to be playing, or
it is such a Jekyll and Hyde operation? It's not even funny.
I mean, who's going to be on the field?
I'm assuming Waka will not be in the rotation, and he should not be. That would be a huge mistake. You've got to have Wainwright, Lynn, and Lackey / or Miller as your top three guys. And in a 5-game series, depending on how it goes, I would probably only use 3 guys. But I would reserve my right to change my mind on that. But it all starts tonight. Oakland at Kansas City, and I believe that'll be an entertaining game. You've got two of the best pitchers going in that game. Pittsburgh is stuck with Volquez as their starter tomorrow night against Bumgarner. That might not be a good thing for the Pirates. And then Detroit and Baltimore open the division series Thursday. Scherzer against Tillman. I think Detroit's going to win that series, and I think they may sweep them. Sweep Baltimore right on out of the thing. I'm very surprised that Verlander is going to pitch game 2. I would have thought that Price would pitch game 2, but he's slated for game 3 Sunday afternoon. So we'll see. We shall see. Cardinals haven't named a starter for game 2. You assume it's going to be Lance Lynn. But whomever it is, it's Greinke for the Dodgers. Our lines are always open at 314-399-8923. 314-399-8923. The best 2 weeks of the year, in my opinion, on the sports calendar begin today. You've got baseball playoffs almost, well, yeah, you do have them every day. There are no off days in the next 2 weeks. And you've got football, especially today and tomorrow, to the baseball playoffs keep us occupied in our 48-hour weekly hiatus of football. But how about that game last night in Kansas City? Did we witness the end of an era, Brady Belichick? I think we may have. My Patriots have been playing poorly all year. They have no offensive line. They have a mediocre defense, terrible receivers. It's a tragedy that the New England organization has not helped Tom Brady more in the past 3 or 4 years. It was a miracle what Brady and Belichick accomplished last year, and it ain't going to happen this year. And then trading Logan Mankins just before the season started for a tight end that you don't even use couldn't have been dumber. You have an offensive line that was in disarray before that, and then you take the only stable position and get rid of it. None of it makes any sense to me, and thus the Patriots look like an old team going nowhere. I liken the Patriots right now to the Yankees and the Red Sox in baseball. They got old in a hurry, and they didn't fill in underneath the age. That's a bad team. But nobody's in worse shape than Michigan. Brady Hoke, you talk about a guy who's walking on hot coals, blown out at home by Minnesota, and during the game leaves his quarterback in, who just got his bell rung and almost fell to the ground. A teammate had to hold him up, leaves him in for a play. He comes out. He also has a sprained ankle. Then he goes back in. And now the athletic director is saying they investigated. There's terrible communication between the medical people, the athletic department, the coach, and all that. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? In this day and age, you have bad communication between the coaches and the medical people. And then I find out they don't have a doctor on the sideline.
What the hell's going on out here?
I don't know, Coach Vince. They have trainers. And they say now they're going to rectify that by leaving a doctor in the press box to call down to the trainers. What is that all
doesn't
about?
make sense.
No, it does not. You've got to have the doc on the sideline so he can look into your eyes and say, son, you ain't going nowhere. Nowhere.
I blacked out.
And you shouldn't be in any hurry to get there because we don't want you blacking out. But that kid did. He was out on his feet. I don't know if you saw the Time magazine article a couple of weeks ago, cover story, about the young man in Tipton, Missouri, about a half hour from Jefferson City on Highway 50. Tipton High School, 16-year-old kid, suffered a head injury during the game and died. There was a cover story on Time magazine regarding concussions and how even with all of the publicity surrounding them, people still aren't getting it right. Mike is up first. Mike, let's kick it off on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. How are you?
We lost Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. Must have got mad at me. Hey, by the way, we can all breathe a sigh of relief now. George Clooney's married. I'm so happy that that's over. I just can't. I was awake at night trying to figure out when will George Clooney get married?
What's the over-under in Vegas?
On how long it'll last?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's pretty hot and she's real smart. He did hit the lottery. He did hit the lottery.
I'll give it a year.
I think it's a keeper. I'm giving them both credit. I think she's a keeper. Smart and hot, that's tough to beat. It's rare as a cure for cancer, but it's tough to beat if you did find it. Dennis Allen fired in Oakland. No shock there. Tony Sparano is the new head coach there. He was their offensive line coach. I was going to kick out of him. Tony Sparano. Could you make up a name any more? I mean, he's not Tony Soprano, but he's Sparano. He juxtaposed a couple letters in there. And he's a new head coach out there in Oakland, where they're 0-4. Wow. I'm not feeling that one. Not at all. Tony Stewart wasn't indicted yesterday. That news came down. All right, let's try Michael. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Oh, boy. Turn your radio down, Michael. Or don't.
He's gone.
It really doesn't matter.
He struggled to.
Hey, by the way, I went to the Cheers bar, too, when I was up there.
It wasn't the actual bar. I told you that.
Yes, it is.
You went to the real one?
Yeah.
But it's not the set of the thing.
They actually have a set upstairs from the actual bar.
How did
where
I
they
miss
did
that when I
not
was
much
there?
filming, but they've got the stage lights and everything up there, and they've got the places where Frazier and Norm and Cliffy sat at the bar.
I just remember being very let down by the Cheers bar.
Not me.
I remember, well, you probably had a couple PBRs.
No, I thought it was phenomenal. Well, now, it's a very small place. It's nowhere near as big as the set that they've filmed the show in Los Angeles. But the exterior and the stairway going down, it's all there.
I remember watching the Raiders game this Sunday and seeing Dennis Allen and just seeing that's a dead man. Basically, dead man walking on the sideline.
That was him. 10 in a row. You can't lose 10 in a row in the NFL. Hey, as far as the Cheers bar is concerned, by the way, I proved that the opening song is not true. I asked a fellow in there what my name was, and he didn't know. And the song promises where everybody knows your name.
So you disproved the Cheers song.
I did. I'm always looking for some kind of chink in the armor, whether or not government is lying to us. In this case, songwriters lying to us. But nonetheless, that was phenomenal. I'm thinking to myself, if you own a bar, and that'd be the kind of bar I'd want to own. Not very big, room for about 15 to 20 people at the bar. That's it. Then some tables. But if you own a bar and there's a Hollywood producer scouring the country looking for a bar to pattern a show after, and he happens to pick yours, you never have to work again, really. I mean, there were lines to get into that place at 11 in the morning as soon as it opened. Big souvenir shop. You could buy everything and anything. $28 for 4 shot glasses that had the Cheers logo on them.
Oh, only $28? Woo!
$28 for 4 glasses. If they'd have been about 10, I would have bought them. But I'm not. I'll just take the shot glass at home and just write Cheers on it. Cost me about 10 cents for a magic marker.
Print a picture off YouTube of Norm and just paste it on the side of your shot glass.
Get a blow up. I'm sitting there at my bar.
Yeah, I got Norm at the bar with me.
I'm sitting at my bar at home. And I didn't have to pay. That's the beauty of it. Ryder Cup, what a disappointment that was, but not shocking. If you're a betting man and you didn't bet on the European team, then you have rocks for brains. That was probably the easiest winning bet in golf history. The U.S. just can't seem to do it. And now we've got dissension in the ranks between Tom Watson and Phil Mickelson. Because Watson wouldn't play Mickelson at all on Saturday. And Mickelson, truthfully, was disappointing on Friday. I don't know that I would have played him either. But so is Furyk. Joseph's up. Hello, Joseph. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. How are you?
Hail to the king.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm a baseball fan. I love baseball. There's Mike Claiborne that they have on the other station. What is his claim to fame? You know, God, maybe
he wears a bike helmet at spring training.
Baseball, but doggone it, this guy just bores me to tears.
He's a nice fellow.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, but I just don't think that the Cardinals and KMOX, once revered for having the best play-by-play people in the industry, give a damn who does the play-by-play anymore. I just don't think they do. As far as I'm concerned,
the other day about the greatest arms you ever saw was I forgot who the other one was, but he said Mike Shannon, the greatest throwing arms. And I'm old. I'm 62, and I remember seeing Shannon at Sportsman's Park. That got it. Is he that old?
Well, Mike Shannon had a great arm, but he certainly wasn't Willie Mays or Roberto Clemente or any of those cats. Mickey Mantle, all of those guys, Frank Robinson, those guys would throw a BB from the warning track to the plate, and it'd be right on target. You never saw one of their throws tail anywhere.
And didn't you ever see Rick Ankiel throw a ball?
Rick Ankiel, who made 2 throws in his life that were
those were still unbelievable throws.
I saw him throw a ball from there to Oberfeld. I thought it was the fastest ball I ever saw in my life.
Rick Ankiel made 2 throws in one game, and those were both.
Those throws were awesome.
He never threw he never threw anything again accurately at all in his life. But he had 2 in one game.
I love your show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, John. And he never been another active throw.
Come on now. You're killing the whole entire city of Jupiter, Florida.
But it's the truth. I'm sorry. In Jupiter, they probably don't care about the truth.
No, they just care about Rick Ankiel having the best arm ever.
Ever. There it is. Ever. We're going to take a break here. Our good friends from Ernie Patty Collision Center, though, want to hear from you. If you have any damage to your car at all, or if your engine needs a little revamping, they'll do it all. One-stop shop for repairs. Don't go to 4 different places. One for your brakes, one for your body damage, one for paint, and one for engine work. Ernie Patty Collision Center does it all. 4823 Potomac, 314-752-0400. Everything from minor paintless dents to major collision repairs and mechanical repairs from minor to replacement of engines and transmissions. They'll also do tire and wheel balancing, alignments, all of the stuff that you need for your car, and they'll price it right for you. They get it at Ernie Patty Collision Center. They'll offer direct repair for most major insurance companies. And they'll give you a lifetime guarantee on all workmanship and paint. Get your car back quickly, and you can watch the progress of your repair online at ErniePattyCollision.com. They've even gone green. They're environmentally friendly. Waterborne paints at Ernie Patty Collision Center. Gene Statt and his staff been doing this for over 25 years in the same location. So you know they're doing it right, and they're pricing it right. 4823 Potomac, 314-752-0400. Or go to ErniePattyCollision.com. We're back with more of the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court right after this.
Hello from Blinds Unlimited. Can you feel it? Summer's here. It's the perfect time for sprucing up your home with custom-made window treatments. Energy-efficient blinds can make a big difference in the cost of cooling your home. Call Mike Guest at Blinds Unlimited, 618-660-7289. Serving the St. Louis community with honesty and integrity for over 17 years. Blinds Unlimited, 618-660-7289.
Monday Night Football comes to St. Louis October 13th as our Rams take on the 49ers. The Miller Coors tailgate party will kick off in the north lot of the Dome at 4:30 and rock on until game time at 7:30. cheap beer products, great food, and music. Proceeds from the sales going to help our troops through the USO of Missouri. Come join the fun and get primed for the game. Presented by Miller Coors, the USO of Missouri, AM 590 and 1380, as well as MLM Law Firm, Paul Cerami Kia Ford, Max Muscle Supplement Superstore of Brentwood, and Mastermind Vodka.
Fall is the best time of year to golf in the STL. The weather is enjoyable and the courses are ready for you. Hopefully you have figured out those flaws in your game. Making a tee time is as easy as checking out the course of interest, click, pay, and save $10 for using golfaroundstl.com. Go to one of the many courses that subscribe to golfaroundstl.com on their website. Choose your tee time and enter the code 590. That's 590 and get $10 off your game. It's that simple. Golfaroundstl.com tee times must be scheduled within 7 days of the reservation. Use the 590 code and the discount will be applied at the pro shop when you check in for your round. This offer cannot be used with any other promotion, and you must have your reservation at the time of check-in. Any question about the service can be directed to golfer at midwestgolfnetwork.com. Golfaroundstl.com saves you time and money. Try it today.
367 Bait Shop right here in St. Louis reminds all motorists to keep an eye out for kids and never text and drive. That's 367 Bait Shop, your headquarters for fresh catfish and all your live bait, tackle, and fishing supplies. Stop on by 11841 Binhan Road in St. Louis or call ahead 314-653-1377. You can also visit online at 367baitandtackle.com. That's 367 Bait Stop, going the extra mile for kids. They're people who care.
Pressure in sports is all part of the game. The home team putting pressure on the opposing team and coming out victorious. But being pressured into something you don't need or want is an entirely different thing. If you have ever been in a situation where you have been pressured to buy, you will understand what I am about to say. There are numerous funeral homes in our area, all looking for your business. Many have quotas that must be met in both dollars and volume, and this can mean pressure. In actuality, many of their funeral directors are just salespeople who are required to sell a certain amount or lose their position. At Cutis Funeral Home, we have no quotas, and because we are locally owned, we have no outside expenses that must be met. This means when you come to Cutis, you will never, ever be pressured into something you don't need or want. I'm Kim Cutis, and I personally guarantee you that at Cutis Funeral Homes, you will never feel pressure.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Hampton, and South County.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right. Every woman who calls right now can get a full-size, risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and is clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes, which will motivate and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final starts at 6. This is National Physique Qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure physique, bikini classes, along with masters teams, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
Please remove those hats. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
Now we welcome you back in. This is what I was doing up in Boston, playing a little guitar. Brought back a little recording of it. I was down at a seafood place called Legal, the Harbor, the Boston Harbor. Hey, we met up with Ashley Feldman, my former co-host. She's in Boston now. Had a lot of fun up there. Fun weekend. A long weekend, actually. Got up there Wednesday night. Got back late last night. I feel like a Patriot, but not a New England football Patriot because they're in trouble. Tell you who's not in trouble. Gateway Buick GMC. Listen to this, by the way. They're in Hazelwood, where they've always been. 270 McDonald Boulevard. They can customize any car, SUV, or truck. So if you're dreaming of what you want to do with your car, SUV, or truck, and somehow you want to fancy it up or customize it in any way possible, if you can dream it, they can build it. And huge savings going on at Gateway Buick GMC. Listen to this, $12,000 on all remaining 2014 LaCrosses. $12,000 off on all remaining 2014 Enclaves. You can save $7,000 on all remaining 2014 Buick Encores. How about that? Guaranteed credit approval. So if your credit has taken a hit, and whose hasn't in this day and age with the way the economy's been and job insecurity, they'll guarantee credit approval at Gateway Buick GMC. And on October 18th, they're having their first annual car show. They'll have a canned food drive, a 50-50 drawing to benefit the Backstoppers, and they'll have food for the customers. Now, that's October 18th. That's about 3 weeks away. But right now, all these great savings are going on while they last at Gateway Buick GMC with over 200 used vehicles in stock, by the way. Great savings, guaranteed credit approval. Gateway Buick GMC, we are professional grade. And this is the Pabst Blue Ribbon, Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. 314-399-8923. 314-399-8923. Brian Boehringer, the former Yankee and Padre pitcher and current scout for the Arizona Diamondbacks, will be joining us at 4 o'clock to preview the upcoming wild card battles. Tonight, of course, Kansas City hosting a playoff game. They'll have the Oakland A's in town. Now, way back, end of July, at the trading deadline, I don't think anyone in their right mind thought the Oakland A's would be playing as visitors in a wild card game. They had the best record in baseball. It looked like they were coasting. And then they traded their cleanup hitter, Cespedes, to the Red Sox for John Lester. And it hasn't been Lester's fault that the A's have gone on a losing binge, but without their cleanup hitter, the A's have struggled mightily to score runs. They had already traded for Hamill and Samardzija from the Cubs. So Billy Beane went all in, and that gamble blew up in his face, at least at this point. If the A's go on some kind of a run, he'll be hailed as a conquering hero. Adam is first up in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Adam.
Kevin.
Yes, sir. How are you?
This is Alan. How you doing?
Oh, Alan, I'm sorry. Go right ahead, Alan.
That's okay. I figured you recognize my voice anyway. Couple of things. You know, I didn't like what Phil Mickelson did at the press conference after the Ryder Cup. He basically stunk it up like they usually do against the Euros. But he kind of called Tom Watson out. And Watson is sitting right there. Then he starts talking about what Paul Azinger did and everything. I think if you got a beef with the captain or something, that's not the place to do it, especially after you basically got your butts whooped.
Yeah, I did not enjoy Mickelson's lack of class. And, he's a popular guy in the world of golf, fans, and I suppose some players. But I think Phil Mickelson really crippled his reputation with that display.
Yeah, it was bad. And let's face it, Tom Watson is one of the most respected guys in golf. And, he kind of paved the way for the other golfers. And if nothing else, maybe he made some mistakes. But you know what? I think if Azinger was a captain, I think they still would have lost. The Euros are just better, don't you think?
I do. I really do. I mean, for whatever reason, at this game, they're not just better; they're much better. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is.
Well, a couple other things. You know, I'm glad you brought up deal with the Kansas City Royals. You know, two of the biggest myths in St. Louis sports is, first of all, Don Dinginger lost the World Series for the Cardinals. You know, not only Jack Clark dropped the foul ball. Remember when Darryl Porter missed the tag that could have ended the inning also.
No, you're right.
So, and the thing about it is, this was game 6. They had a whole nother game to regroup. They still could have beaten Kansas City. So, and you know, we all know what happened in game 7. They basically wore the pins when they went out there and just crapped all over themselves in game 7. You know, if this would have been game 7, bottom of the 9th or something like that, I could have it. But, you know, I'm one of the few people, and you brought it up also, I don't think Don Dickinson lost. And let's forget, people forget, the Cardinals hit 180, they hit 180 during the whole World Series. They batted under 200 against Kansas City.
It's amazing, isn't it? This is Kansas City's time to shine, boy. They had the big Monday night win last night. Now tonight, the scene shifts across the parking lot to Royal Stadium, Old Kauffman Stadium. But that's the greatest sports complex in America, by the way, those two stadiums that share this, this perfect tailgating situation. And so the national spotlight hitting KC back-to-back nights, it's, you know, and I'm happy for the city of Kansas City. They deserve it after such a long wait. I'm really glad to see it, and I hope the Royals win the game tonight.
You know, people say that Kansas City has gotten this complex over St. Louis. You know, I don't know. I don't get into all of that. You know, my daughter lives in Kansas City now. She goes to school up there, and she loves it. And I like going up there visiting her, and I might wear my Cardinals hat or something. And if I got my Cardinals cap on, and she wears a Cardinals shirt at school, and the people couldn't be nicer. They don't care about, you know, I think that's what it is. I think people in St. Louis are more worried because the people in Kansas City don't care about them than they do at a complex. And another myth that I'll throw this out there and I'll go. Another one was when the Rams won the World Series, how much of a genius Charlie Army was for getting Kurt Warner. And I've argued with a couple of sports people. I said, y'all seem to forget that the Rams left Kurt Warner unprotected during the expansion draft, and the Cleveland Browns actually had a chance to pick him up, and they didn't. And if they had so much confidence in him, why did they leave him unprotected? And if he would have got picked up, you know, who knows what happened. So that same genius who lucked up and won the Super Bowl with Warner wasn't so smart when he left him unprotected. Take care, Kevin. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Alan. We appreciate your thoughts. Good stuff. Always good stuff. Hey, I'll tell you what good stuff is. The Marshall Wireless iPhone. Listen to this. You pre-order your iPhone and you get the exclusive iPhone for Life plan from Marshall Wireless Sprint phones. This couldn't be any better. $70 a month for life, unlimited everything, and it includes the cost of your new phone. Let me repeat it for you. $70 a month for life, unlimited everything, includes the cost of your new phone. That's the exclusive iPhone for Life package from Marshall Wireless. If you have a Verizon or AT&T phone that eats data like crazy, you want to get in on this deal, and they'll pay your cancellation fee up to $350. You're never going to get a better deal as long as you live. That's like betting a soccer game that's an over-under in 1/2 of 5 goals. You'd always go under. This is as simple as that. You'd always take this deal. It's $70 a month for life, unlimited everything, and it includes the cost of your new phone on the new iPhone from Marshall Wireless Sprint. Make sure you call one of the 16 locations and get yourself in on that deal. Hockey Bob is up next at Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Hockey Bob.
Hello, Kevin. Hello, Owen. How are you guys doing this afternoon?
We are well, thank you.
Good. Hey, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. You were mentioning about, cheers being a great thing to model a show after. Well, do you know what the town of Chester, Illinois is modeled after, Kevin?
No.
It's modeled after the whole Popeye series. The guy who wrote the big strips and the show with the Popeye modeled it after the town of Chester, Illinois. If you go in there, if you go into the town, there's bronze statues of Popeye and Pluto and Olive Oil and all the characters there.
But I know that when they have Chester night at the ballpark, everybody named Chester gets in free.
Hey, you're talking about Cheers, and I was a big Cheers fan. One of my favorite lines was when Mrs. Howe told Woody he gets the most flies with honey than with vinegar, and Woody quipped back, "Well, it's from my experience, Mrs. Howe, that you catch the most flies with a dead squirrel." I've used that line many times in my life. All right, well, that's all I want to talk to you guys about. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Hockey Bob. And over in Chester, Illinois, if you're a Popeye fan, it's a place to go. One of my favorite lines from Cheers was when Frazier said, "The single most important thing in real estate is location, location, location." And Woody said, "That would be three things, Dr. Crane." Let's take a break. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man. We're back after this.
Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your upcoming NFL action and, of course, our Redbirds. NASCAR is in full swing, and now is the time to form your fantasy football leagues, and Hot Shots is the perfect meeting place. Hot Shots has the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports while you have a great view of the beautiful servers as well as the games. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with golden tea, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and a massive 105-inch screen, so you always have the best view. Hot Shots in Webster Groves at Watson and Laclede Station Road. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 in Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time. The USO of Missouri brings you the Red, Rock, and Blue Benefit Concert Sunday, November 16th at the Pageant. Tickets on sale now while they last to see Scotty McCreery along with Danielle Bradbury, country's newest superstars and winner of Season 10's American Idol and The Voice's Season 4. Together, VIP, general admission, and balcony seats. Call Ticketmaster or the Pageant box office today. The Red, Rock, and Blue Concert benefit the USO of Missouri with Scotty McCreery and Danielle Bradbury live at the Pageant Theater Sunday, November 16th.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes, which will motivate and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final start at 6. This is a national physique qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure, physique, bikini classes, along with masters teams, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center, Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right, every woman who calls right now can get a full-size, risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial. and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
Now, all rise. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Main.
We'd like to be back in. Kevin Slayton with you in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Glad you're with us on this Tuesday afternoon. Cardinals play Friday at 5:37 our time. So we'll see what happens before then, though, because there's plenty of games to be played, including tonight in Kansas City. Our numbers are always open at 314-399-8923. 314-399-8923. Theo Epstein is putting all chips on the table, saying the Cubs will compete for the Central Division Championship next year. Now, granted, the Cubs have plenty of young players that made their debuts this year that were awfully good. And he says that they'll be going after starting pitching in the offseason, and they will add free agent pitchers. Available this offseason, John Lester, James Shields, who's pitching tonight for the Royals, and Max Scherzer, among others. Maybe they will. He says we're going to be very involved. We will add talent from outside the organization. I hope we add impact talent, but it has to make sense. We can't completely sell out for 2015. So he's hedging his bets.
Lester is actually going up against Shields tonight.
Yeah, so two of those three guys are pitching tonight. I still believe Lester heads back to the Red Sox. That's just my own gut feeling. Now, I also believe that in the offseason, somehow, some way, the Yankees or Red Sox will work a trade out with Miami and get Stanton. One of those two teams will get him. Cardinals have been sleeping on that deal. I've been telling them about it for a long time now, a couple of years. They're sleeping. Gary's up first in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Gary. How are you?
Doing fine. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing all right.
I got some things about Shannon and Claiborne. The first couple, I was wondering if you could verify. I heard long ago that Shannon hit the last home run at Sportsman Park, and the first one at Bush won.
He may have. I think there was some oddity like that. Actually, he didn't hit the first home. He did not hit the first home run at the previous Busch Stadium. He hit the first home run by a Cardinal, but Felipe Alou hit the first home run there.
Thank you. And then I heard from Sportsman's Park they took the home and helicoptered it to Busch 1.
Yes, they did. They dug it up, helicoptered it over to the previous Busch Stadium.
And then James Shannon and Claiborne are pretty tight. He lets Claiborne host his Live at Shannon show. And it seems that he wants to have, eventually, when Mike retires, to have Claiborne replace him.
Well, I don't know that that's true, but I know that Mike Claiborne.
On that.
I know that Mike Claiborne does host a show at Shannon's, and it's a good, fun show. And Mike Claiborne does a good job at that. I just don't know that play-by-play is the right position for him. And he hosts the post-game shows, and those are good.
With that old saying, he has a lot to be desired.
Play-by-play is a different animal, and I always get a kick out of how the Cardinals will just throw anybody in there, never having had a lick of experience. Rick Horton has proven that he cannot do the job. But it doesn't matter. The Cardinals still do it.
Yes, and last thing is, now I heard this on my transistor outside. I heard Claiborne say during a pregame or rain delay, he's speaking of the cell, and he says, I wondered why they've never repaired that crack. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you should call Mike Claiborne and ask him why he said it. You shouldn't bring that to me. You should call him.
Well, I was just stating a fact of what I heard.
Well, you should call him if you disagree with it.
Pardon me?
If you disagree with it, you should call him.
Why should I call him when I heard a statement that he said?
Why would you call me? If you have something that, if you don't
like here or what?
If you don't like, no, we're not talking. You're not talking about other broadcasters that I'm not even talking about. You're calling up to say something negative about someone, and if you do, that's fine. But call them. If someone has a problem with me, they should call me.
I'm not saying anything negative about him.
You're
I'm
not
quoting him.
You're quoting him from what you think he said. I didn't hear it.
I heard him say it.
Well, I didn't hear him say it. So there's nothing I can say to it unless I heard him say it. You get that part, don't you?
I get the part where if somebody says something negative that you don't agree with, then it must be wrong.
What? What are you even talking about? You call up here to complain about Mike Claiborne. You call up here. No, you don't. You call up here to complain about Mike Claiborne, and I tell you should call him if you have a beef with him.
And I said, this is a sports show, ain't it?
Ain't it? Where'd you learn the grammar?
Oh, here we go with the cheap attack. What a
Factual.
lawyer.
What a lawyer. Woo, boy. Nice comeback, Potsy. That was a good one.
You started it, Joker.
You started it, Joker. Okay, Batman.
Screw you.
Okay, Batman.
He gone!
Now, he'll call up in a couple more days, and he'll act like that conversation never took place. The guy hates anything that's black.
He gone!
It doesn't have to be a black person. I think just the color black he hates.
What happened? I blacked out.
I think he did. I think it's too much Vietnam. Here's the deal. If you have a complaint that I am not aware of, if I didn't hear someone say something, I'm not going to comment on it. That's irresponsible. Call the person you have the complaint with. Yeah, this is a sports show. So if you're going to call and talk to me about something that I have been talking about, if I say I heard so-and-so say something and I disagree with it, then it's open season. But I didn't hear it, and I don't know how hard that was to sink in there. It must have been very difficult. Very difficult. Apparently it was impossible. I don't get it either. I don't get it either. Hey, Missouri beats South Carolina Saturday. We haven't even had a chance to address that yet. In a game in which Steve Spurrier coached horribly. I don't know what the old ball coach was thinking, or the head ball coach. He doesn't like old ball coach. But he scores to go up 19-7 and doesn't go for two, which was very bizarre because the score came in the fourth quarter. So they lose by 1 point. But even more shocking was the total collapse of the South Carolina defense at home when they have throttled Missouri throughout the game. Now, it was a prayer that Matty Mock threw up that just cleared the fingertips of the defensive back, and Bud Sasser caught it. It was a bad throw, but they got away with it. Sometimes you got to take a chance. And they did. And they got away with it. They could do nothing all night long. And yet somehow, of course, Steve Spurrier then decided to run the ball straight up the middle, the old hey diddle diddle, half back up the middle. When you think you can win the game by running out the clock, when you really can't, you have to make first downs, throw the damn thing. I've never seen a Spurrier coach team act like that. Maybe it's time for the head ball coach to move on after that debacle. Steve is up next. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Steve, how are you?
Well, not too bad. Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I was gonna say cheers, but that probably a little corny at this point.
No, not a bit.
Sounds like you had a great time.
Yep, not at all. In fact, what a great name for a bar and a great name for a TV show centered around a bar.
First and foremost, and I'll keep this part of it brief, that dim bulb that called in a while ago Claiborne made the remark about the Liberty Belt. It was supposed to be funny. And that guy that was on a while ago didn't get it very clearly.
I'm sure, as I said, I didn't hear the comment, but I'm sure that if Mike Claiborne said that, it was a joke.
I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. And Claiborne, for anybody who's never met him, he's one of the nicest people I have ever met anywhere. And we just set the record straight. But the main reason I wanted to call you was to get your thoughts on the upcoming Cardinal-Dodger series, and is it too early to ask for the Slayton guarantee on this one?
Oh, I got to think it through. Yep, it's not too early. I'll put the Slayton guarantee on the Dodgers. I'll also put the Slayton guarantee on the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers look tough. They look real tough.
And we don't know the other matchup, what it's going to be yet, the other two matchups. So I'll have to wait until after the wild card games are completed. But the Slayton guarantee, of all the Slayton guarantees, the Tigers are the surest thing.
So they're going to the World Series against who?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying they're going to beat the Orioles because I don't know who their next opponent is going to be. It hasn't been determined, but they're going to beat. They're going to beat the Orioles.
I just wanted to check in with you, and again, I know it's a little unfair before any of these series start to be asking for the Slayton guarantee, but I was fishing to see if we could get one. But it sounds like you're leaning toward the Dodgers.
You got it. I'm not leaning there. Slayton guarantee on the Dodgers.
Alrighty. Well, again, glad to have you back, and have a great show.
All right, thank you, Steve. Now the Cardinals have kind of had the Dodgers number, but that's even more so why I think the Dodgers finally prevail. 5-game series favors the Dodgers. 7-game series would probably favor the Cardinals. But you got Kershaw 2 out of the 5. Yeah. I know the Cardinals have had some success against Kershaw, but they didn't earlier this year. He dominated them. Absolutely dominated them. So that's just my take. By the way, another great line from Cheers was, if you remember when Cliffy was on Jeopardy and he had something like $23,000 going into the final Jeopardy question. And he is leading the next closest pursuer by about $19,000. All he has to do is bet $1,000 on the final Jeopardy answer, and he wins. So the question was, the real names of Tony Curtis, or the answer was the real names of Tony Curtis, Cary Grant, Joan Crawford, and Cliffy says, who are 3 people who've never been to my house? By the way, you can't argue that. It's true. And that was his beef when he wagered all $23,000 and lost. That was one of the best. I've never been in my kitchen. I'm sorry, not my house. 3 people have never been in my kitchen. So Cliffy was phenomenal. And those were great shows. Take a break. But before we do, I want to remind you that the folks at Window World want to take care of your insulation with your windows before the cold part of the year comes through. Now, it's hard to believe it's going to get cold with a day like today. But at Window World, you might need entirely a new set of windows around the whole house. Go to the home of the $189 window guys, 314-993-1800. Don't let the cool air get out of the house, and in a few weeks, don't let the hot air get out of the house. 314-993-1800. This is the company that has just been voted #1 in its industry, 2nd year running, by J.D. Power and Associates. That never happens in the replacement window industry, but it did now with Window World. They also throw an A+ from the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List on their resume. Over 1 million windows sold 5 years in a row. How about that? Over 40,000 homes in our area have improved their look and thermal efficiency thanks to Window World. Any size white vinyl double hung windows, just $189. They come with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor, and they use double strength glass. Not many people do. Window World also throws in 12 months free financing with approved credit, same as cash. 314-993-1800. 314-993-1800 gets you a free in-home estimate. Time for a break in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Back after this.
Pressure in sports is all part of the game. The home team putting pressure on the opposing team and coming out victorious. But being pressured into something you don't need or want is an entirely different thing. If you have ever been in a situation where you have been pressured to buy, you will understand what I am about to say. There are numerous funeral homes in our area, all looking for your business. Many have quotas that must be met in both dollars and volume, and this can mean pressure. In actuality, many of their funeral directors are just salespeople who are required to sell a certain amount or lose their position. At Cutis Funeral Home, we have no quotas, and because we are locally owned, we have no outside expenses that must be met. This means when you come to Cutis, you will never, ever be pressured into something you don't need or want. I'm Kim Cutis, and I personally guarantee you that at Cutis Funeral Homes, you will never feel pressure.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Hampton, and South County.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Sports Talk Radio.
Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your upcoming NFL action and, of course, our Redbirds. NASCAR is in full swing, and now is the time to form your fantasy football leagues, and Hot Shots is the perfect meeting place. Hot Shots has the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports while you have a great view of the beautiful servers as well as the games. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with golden tea, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and the massive 105-inch screen, so you always have the best view. Hot Shots in Webster Groves at Watson and Laclede Station Road. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 and Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time.
Hello from Blinds Unlimited. Can you feel it? Summer's here. It's the perfect time for sprucing up your home with custom-made window treatments. Energy-efficient blinds can make a big difference in the cost of cooling your home. Call Mike Guest at Blinds Unlimited, 618-660-7289. Serving the St. Louis community with honesty and integrity for over 17 years. Blinds Unlimited, 618-660-7289.
Monday Night Football comes to St. Louis October 13th as our Rams take on the 49ers. The Miller Course Tailgate Party will kick off in the north lot of the Dome at 4:30 and rock on until game time at 7:30. Cheap beer products, great food, and music. Proceeds from the sales going to help our troops through the USO of Missouri. Come join the fun and get primed for the game. Presented by Miller Coors, the USO of Missouri, AM 590 and 1380, as well as MLM Law Firm, Paul Cerami Kia Ford, Max Muscle Supplement Superstore of Brentwood, and Mastermind Vodka.
Fall is the best time of year to golf in the STL. The weather is enjoyable and the courses are ready for you. Hopefully you have figured out those flaws in your game. Making a tee time is as easy as checking out the course of interest. Click, pay, and save $10 for using golfaroundstl.com. Go to one of the many courses that subscribe to golfaroundstl.com on their website. Choose your tee time and enter the code 590. That's 590 and get $10 off your game. It's that simple. Golfaroundstl.com tee times must be scheduled within 7 days of the reservation. Use the 590 code and the discount will be applied at the pro shop when you check in for your round. This offer cannot be used with any other promotion, and you must have your reservation at the time of check-in. Any question about the service can be directed to golfer at MidwestGolfNetwork.com. GolfAroundSTL.com saves you time and money. Try it today.
367 Bait Shop right here in St. Louis reminds all motorists to keep an eye out for kids and never text and drive. That's 367 Bait Shop, your headquarters for fresh catfish and all your live bait, tackle, and fishing supplies. Stop on by 11841 Binhan Road in St. Louis or call ahead 314-653-1377. You can also visit online at 367baitandtackle.com. That's 367 Bait Stop, going the extra mile for kids. There are people who care. Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your upcoming NFL action and, of course, our Redbirds. NASCAR is in full swing, and now is the time to form your fantasy football leagues, and Hot Shots is the perfect meeting place. Hot Shots has the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports while you have a great view of the beautiful servers as well as the games. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with golden tea, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and the massive 105-inch screen, so you always have the best view. Hot Shots in Webster Groves at Watson and Laclede Station Road. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 and Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time. Sit up straight. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And it's a beautiful day out there. Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court coming your way. Kevin Slayton here. Our lines open always, 314-399-8923, just back from Boston. If I start asking for clam chowder, you'll know why. I was in Boston eating clam chowder all week in Gloucester and in Rockport. We took a cruise over the Cape Ann Harbor, around the point, all the way around into the Atlantic Ocean. The harbor was crowded. It was a beautiful Saturday. Then we had some chowder. I love the chowder. Chowder's my middle name. Some people call me Chowderhead. No chowder at Stumpy's House of Barbecue, though, but it's a nice warm day and a great day to not cook. So stop in at Stumpy's House of Barbecue, 620 Jungerman Road in St. Peters, 636-441-7222, where everything is hickory smoked and slow cooked. Great salads, too. Great appetizers. Those smoked chicken wings at Stumpy's, you've got to try them. Stumpy's nachos. You've never had nachos like that. Fried pickles, fried green beans, a sampler platter, barbecue sandwiches, including Stumpy's special sandwich, the tender pulled pork or chicken, smothered in their famous Stumpy's original barbecue sauce. And they top it off with a special coleslaw on the sandwich. 3 distinctively different sauces, by the way. You can order Stumpy's House of Barbecue by the pound, ribs by the half slab or full slab, chicken by the half chicken or whole chicken, grab some ice cold beer. And for lunch or dinner, barbecue plates. All served with garlic bread and your choice of any 2 of the following: potato salad, fried corn cobettes, green beans, coleslaw, fries, or Stumpy's beans. You can also get cheese fries or sweet potato fries with that. And then there's applesauce, just like Mom used to make with our barbecue. It's all there at Stumpy's House of Barbecue, 620 Jungerman Road in St. Peters, 636-441-7222. All right, we just we got to get Brian Bowringer on. I'm sorry, I forgot Owen. You still have his number? Okay, get Bo on. It's my mistake. I'm sitting there yapping, thinking of Stumpy's House of Barbecue. 2 playoff games in the next 2 nights. At Kansas City. Tonight, of course. And tomorrow, that's the other wild card. It's at Pittsburgh. And the Pirates have to pitch Volquez in that game. That's a tough break for them because you'd rather have Liriano or Garrett Cole, but they were all in trying to win the division. And so when they didn't win it, they're stuck with Volquez. Now, Volquez last pitched in the playoffs against the Phillies when Roy Halladay threw his no-hitter in his first playoff game ever. Wasn't Volquez's fault, but anyway, that was a losing cause. And the Pirates are hoping it doesn't repeat itself. So Let's welcome Brian Bollringer, the former Yankee, the former Padre, and, of course, currently a scout for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bo, how are you today, bud?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Sorry we're a little late. I was sitting here thinking of Stumpy's House of Barbecue. Did I lose Bo?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, we apologize for being a little late getting to you, but we've got playoff games beginning tonight and, of course, again tomorrow, the 2 wildcard games. Who would have thought back on the trading deadline that it would be Oakland at Kansas City? That's going to be a fun game simply because of the novelty of the Royals and the A's. Let's see if they can rebound from a disastrous stretch from the trading deadline to now.
And you just wonder with them, I mean, they're built and designed for the playoffs, the Oakland A's are, because they're used to playing tight games, have good pitching all the way through, good depth. And that's just one of the teams you look, hey, can they get hot? Can Lester, get them in there, and then they can just ride it from there, because they seem like a team that can get hot to me and pull this whole thing off.
Do you think Cespedes' absence in the middle of their lineup is something that's going to be hard for them to get over?
Well, the only thing I could think on that trade was that there was something inside, obviously, that wouldn't come out that, obviously the fans don't know about, the inside, the office people and teammates know, because that trade kind of baffled me in that once you get to the playoffs, you don't need 5 good starting pitchers, and that's kind of what they built and designed that team with. And I didn't understand that trade myself. It kind of showed up later that, hey, it seemed like they pulled out a lot of their offense on that trade. But Billy Beane seems to know what he's doing, and, we'll just see what happens, because so far that trade has, looked like it's been an awful trade for them.
Yeah, you mentioned you don't need 5 starters. Some teams still use 4. I don't even understand that. A 5-game series, I think I'd go with 3 because you have off days.
Well, I think you're Clayton Kershaw. You already know he's taking the ball twice in this series, because he's one of those guys. He pitched on 3 days rest last year, made no excuses, and it didn't work out for him. But he's looking to redeem himself this year, and I can't wait to see this game 1 with the Cardinals, because I think we're just going to see an outstanding display of pitching. And it's just going to come down to a 1-run game, and we'll see who can execute during the game or toward the end, whenever the situation comes up.
Can the Royals beat Lester tonight? I mean, Lester, of course, has all of that big game experience with the Red Sox. Shields, their ace, going for them. He pitched with Tampa. Of course, he's not a virgin in the playoffs. This one should be a well-pitched game as well.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an exciting game tonight as well. And as I feel like all these playoff games are, because there's just not much offense around the league. And I think this is when you're going to see a time where execution is going to be at its premium, because you have a lot of good pitchers in these playoffs. And as we've seen over the years, good pitching stops any kind of hitting. So it's going to be more about execution than anything. And it almost seems like every team except the Detroit Tigers is lined up all the way through from starters to relievers. And I think it's just going to be a fun series to watch all the way through.
Tomorrow night, it's the National League wild card. You've got the Pirates at home against the Giants. The Pirates, of course, finishing unbelievably hot, yet stumbling in the last 3 games, and did not win the division. Is that something mentally that hurts them, do you think, or do they just recharge, play at home, and move on to the next series?
Well, they also played a tough Cincinnati team. I know their record didn't show that, but they have some players on that team, not to mention they faced Johnny Cueto that last game, who's an outstanding pitcher. And, they've had a day to think about it. Great. That's in the back of their mind. This is playoff time. You have 1 game, winner in. Win, you're in. Lose, go home. They know what the stakes are, and they're going to come out with their A game, as well as the San Francisco Giants. And that's what's so neat about this play-in game. I really can't call this a playoff game. I call it a play-in game,
right,
because this really isn't the playoffs until you have a series. So I believe that it's going to be an exciting game, and those Pittsburgh fans are going to be ready to rock and roll out there as they were last year.
Yeah, I'm glad the game's in Pittsburgh, because I love seeing a fan base like Kansas City and Pittsburgh. They haven't had a lot of playoff action in the past 20 years. 2 years in a row now for the Pirates. see if they're fans and Andrew McCutcheon can carry them through. The only negative I see for the Pirates is that they're going with their third starter in Volquez as opposed to Liriano or Cole because they went all in trying to win that division.
But see, people question that, but I don't. That's what I would have done too, because I'd much rather have a 5-game series starting off than a 1-game series, especially when you know you're facing the San Francisco Giants and you're going to face one of the best left-handers in the league. And I just think that they were trying to play to get a 5-game series or 7-game series, which is what I definitely would have done myself. Now, obviously, it didn't work out. It does look bad after the fact. But let's be honest, their number 3 starter is almost as good as their number 1 starter, so I don't think they really lost anything.
It's going to be fun. Now, I was saying earlier, this is the best time of year the next 2 weeks for sports fans. You've got playoff baseball every day for the next 2 weeks. You've got football, of course. Hockey's about ready to start. If you're an NBA fan, that's getting close. But playoff baseball is unlike anything else. You've been there. You've been in 2 World Series. What is it like for these guys in Kansas City who've never been there?
You can't even explain it. It's just because there's so much more media there. There's so much of a spotlight on it. And for this one game win situation, it's not as amplified for the simple fact that you only have the 1 game and it's on your regular schedule at 7:00. Now, once you get into the playoffs and you're playing these screwed up game times because of television, that's, I think, where it starts to take its toll a little bit and you get a little nervous because it takes you a little bit out of your routine. And baseball players are all about routine, no matter what anybody says. I know they talk about superstitions, but I think it's more of routines. And when you get out of your routine, I think is when you lose your comfort zone sometimes and don't perform as well as you can. And I'm hoping, like I said, I just think we're going to see 2 outstanding play-in games, and it's going to come down to execution and who executes the best.
It really will. And, of course, the little things seem to add up in the playoffs. You mentioned the lack of offense in Major League Baseball this year. Pretty much the Tigers have some offense and the Angels. And the Dodgers they finished with a flourish offensively, but the Angels are like a slow-pitch softball team. They don't have the dominant pitching since they lost their best pitcher, but yet they roared to the finish line. And these playoffs are always going to be interesting. The managers will have to show up in these games, won't they?
Oh, no doubt about it. The only thing that's not going to show up is your lack of managing a bullpen, because when you're in these situations, like you said, you have so many off days that you can hide some of the mistakes you make. And that's kind of why I think the off days kind of ruin the pure baseball per se, because then you can just use your quote-unquote best players, whereas I would like to see it where you're more worried about using your entire 25-man roster for a 7-game series instead of possibly, like Shelby Miller not getting to pitch in the postseason last year, to me, is kind of I don't know. I just think that every player should be used, and Mike used them properly. I mean, there was no situation that he necessarily should have pitched in. But that's the thing, is when you have the 7-game series, you have as many off days as you have, you can just use your top line players. And I know that's probably what the fans want to see, but as a baseball purist, I'd much rather see you try and manage that entire 25-man roster and have to rest a guy because you've used him so much or something along those lines. And I would just like to see it so that everybody gets to play, and plus that makes you feel more of the team, part of the team when you win. And I'm saying that obviously being one of the 24th or 25th man on the rosters, I just feel like it makes everybody feel like a part of the team.
Brian Boehringer is our guest, former Yankee, former Padre, World Series with both, and a scout for the Arizona Diamondbacks. October brings out the best in some guys. Other guys shrink from the spotlight and the heat from it. David Freese, we obviously know his exploits in the fall. There are other players who are getting their chance for the first time. Obviously, in Baltimore, a lot of young guys getting a shot at it. In Kansas City tonight, some guys in Oakland. Jeff Samardzija is pitching in a playoff probably for the first time. What is it that makes that guy come through in the toughest, most pressure-packed moments that other people might shrink under?
I think it's all reaching inside yourself. and staying within yourself, as bad as that sounds, because you gotta stay focused for if you're a starting pitcher for 100 pitches. And in this time of year, you literally got to make sure you're on top of every pitch, where one pitch can make a difference. And each person obviously is different to get into their comfort zone. I've watched pitchers in the playoffs where I've seen them throw their first 15 pitches, and I'm like, man, if they just get a hit here, or if he gets a strikeout here, it's going to go one way or the other for him. And I'll watch a pitcher all of a sudden, gets that strikeout and goes 7 innings, where he's probably one pitch away from, just having a disastrous start. And these guys, like you said, a lot of them have been here and a lot of them haven't. I'm anxious to see the ones that have been here, because this is the time of year where they got to step up since they've been there and show the younger guys the way, and the guys who haven't been there, and show them, hey, this can be done. We can get our team through this. Let's go out, be relaxed, be confident, throw strikes, and get our job done.
And that's what makes David Freese's performance in 2011 all the more remarkable. He hadn't done it before, and he steps up into that spotlight. And I always thought that what helped David in that situation, Bo, was that he had other guys on that team that were considered the guys that would carry the offensive load. Pujols, obviously, being one of them, Lance Berkman, those types of guys. And so it wasn't really on his shoulders. And sometimes I guess guys can relax in that situation more than they would otherwise.
Not to mention he has such a carefree attitude, which is good in those situations, because then you're not worried about anything. You're not going to get a hit every time in those situations, even if you're quote-unquote locked in, if you're relaxed. But that gave him the opportunity to do it, because you could just see he was focused, but you could tell he was still relaxed. Like he wasn't thinking, man, I need to hit a home run here, even though he did. And that to me, has to be one of the most exciting memories in St. Louis Cardinals baseball history, because just of the moment, the spotlight, and him being a hometown hero was just an amazing thing to watch. And his attitude throughout the whole thing was just amazing to watch also. It
was a phenomenal fall for David Freese in the hometown. There's no doubt about that. That was as fun as it can be. I read something in Sports Illustrated about Derek Jeter saying that he's successful because he never feared failure. Because as a baseball player, especially a hitter, you're going to fail. And he never feared failure. And I guess that's a huge thing. We're up in Boston this weekend, got to be there for his last game. You played with him. I know the respect you have for him. It was phenomenal watching the captain take his final bows. And it was really neat to see Yankee fans take over Fenway Park.
As only the Yankee fans can do, because they are by far the most vocal fans in baseball, as we witnessed in Derek's last game. And to watch him play that game, it was, and I'll give MLB some credit. They did some outstanding coverage. But to watch him go through the national anthem and seeing his lips quivering like he was getting ready to cry, because he knew it was his last national anthem there at Yankee Stadium. And it was just funny because after the game, the media is always asking these questions. Oh, did you enjoy being at Texas and they gave you boots? Oh, did you enjoy being here and they gave you this? And he said, every time I received one of those, it was like I was dying inside, because I knew that was my last time. And I think that's what people don't realize, is that a baseball player is dying at all times when he's going through that situation, and how he handled it with such grace. And the way only Derek Jeter can have, with a smile on his face, and go out there and just play those games the way he did. And his last game at home, you could just see the whole time, that is the first time I've ever seen Derek Jeter out of what I call character. He was just being more of a fan than anything, because you could just see he was looking up in the seats, trying to just capture the moment, so that he knew in the back of his head, when I retire, since this is my last game, this is what I'm going to remember. And, as we know, he didn't play in Boston except for DH, because that's what he wanted. He wanted to have those memories of himself staying at shortstop, looking up at the fans. And that was going to be his last memory he was going to take from Yankee Stadium.
And then to finish it in Boston, of course, on the grounds of the arch enemy, and to have the Red Sox honor him the way they did, that brought chills to me being there.
Yeah, that rivalry, it's kind of funny because once you get out of baseball is when you realize how exciting of a time you really had. The rivalries are what makes you and what makes you thrive to play this game. If you went out there every day and you're just playing just la la la, it doesn't make you as excited about it. Is when when the Yankees travel to Boston, there was always, it didn't matter who was in what place, there was always just a sense of a must-win game almost. So that's why I always felt Derek Jeter was so prepared for the games, because as a Yankee, you play a lot more of those games, a lot more impact games, even though you were in a playoff race quite a bit at the time. Also, when you go to these other cities, everybody's looking to beat you, and you always had to be on top of your game and ready to go. I think that helped prepare Derek for what, the career he had.
And it was a phenomenal career. He said he's looking forward to waking up on the weekend and not having anything to do. I guess that'd be a pretty good feeling.
Well, he says that now, but he's going to miss it. Everybody misses it. As much as he loves the game of baseball, it's going to be nice to hang out with your parents anytime you want. But also, watching his mother just break down and cry was amazing to me, because she, it was like he said, it's almost like watching your son die, because you knew that was the last time he was ever going to be in uniform. And it's disheartening, but also it's a joyous time, because we're lucky we got to see all 20 years of his career.
And Bo, it's like anything else, I guess, as fans watching something before your eyes like that. Sometimes you don't appreciate it enough when it's going on, and then all of a sudden the years creep up and it's over. And in Derek Jeter's case, I can only imagine that he probably appreciated every minute he was playing as a Yankee, but I'm sure there are times when you think this will never end.
Yeah, but like he said, he said he felt like each time he received one of those, he was dying. And I kind of laughed, because there were some guys out there saying, "Oh, enough of Derek Jeter, enough Derek Jeter," and I just don't understand why people think that Derek Jeter was actually did they think he was calling up the Texas Rangers saying, "Hey, you guys need to have a ceremony for me"?
Right.
Called up Boston and said, "Hey, you guys need to do this for me." He had nothing to do with it. He hated it. I was actually at the All-Star game, and I'm sure a lot of people watched that on TV, and you could see it. He yelled at Wainwright, "Get on the mound, come on, let's go," because he's always shied away from that. He just loved playing the game of baseball, and he never tried to draw attention to himself, and he never liked the attention on himself. So for him to do what he's done, I think just makes it even more special. And we're never going to see another Derek Jeter. I trust me, I hope we do. But Mike Trout's pretty close, and I hope he has the length of career that Derek has had. But I just think we saw a very special player play, and unfortunately, we also see the end of it.
And a very special person who could somehow avoid any hint of scandal, playing in the most visible spot for the most visible team in the most visible city for 20 years. That, to me, is almost as great an achievement as what he did on the field.
Well, a lot of that has to do with his upbringing, too. He had, a solid father and mother figure in his life, and they guided and steered him the correct way. And like I said, he was one who never wanted attention. If you're in New York, you can go out and get attention anytime you want. And he shied away from it as much as possible. He only did interviews when, he was called upon, and he tried not to, overdo it. And he did it the correct way. And to do it in a city like New York, like you said, there's constantly somebody around you, and it's just crazy how everybody's trying to find a fault, especially up in New York. Not like here in St. Louis, where they have one paper and they don't write bad things about players, because if they do, they'll get banned from the clubhouse. In New York, they're trying to make a story in the paper. Everybody is up there because there's just so many newspapers up there. And for Derek to stay clean that whole time is just a testament to his upbringing and the person that he is.
It truly is. Hey, Bo, we're going to have you back on Thursday to preview the division series once we find out all the matchups. Of course, we know a couple of them, but we'll get into that on Thursday, and we appreciate your time today, man.
Sounds good, King. Hope you had fun in Boston.
Had a great time, bud. Had a great time.
Just not quite as good as could have been at Yankee Stadium now.
You're exactly right. Yeah, Boston's Boston, Yankee Stadium's Yankee Stadium. But as I said, if anyone ever talks about removing Fenway Park or Wrigley Field, they ought to be thrown in jail, because those two shrines to the game are just phenomenal. Every time I visit Wrigley, and of course this being my first time in Fenway, I come away with the same feeling.
It's like I tell everybody, those are ballparks. Now it's more of an amusement park that you go to, because there's things for people that are drawing them away from the game. And in New York and Wrigley, that's what you do. You go there and you watch a baseball game. Whereas like here in St. Louis, I know they got the kid zone out in the outfield and the speed pitch. And to me, that it's taking the fans away from the game. Whereas in Boston and Wrigley, it keeps the fans in the game at all times. Yeah,
you got people sitting at picnic tables down at Busch Stadium on the concourse while the game's going on. What the hell's that about? If you want to go to a picnic, go to Forest Park.
That's my opinion too, but hey, it gets fans in there, I guess. So whatever it takes to make some money, right?
You got it, Bo. Hey, thanks for the visit. We'll talk again Thursday.
All right, I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
You bet. That's Brian Boehringer. We're going to talk with him again Thursday to preview the Division Series championships. We'll be back on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court with more right after this.
Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your upcoming NFL action and, of course, our Redbirds. NASCAR is in full swing, and now is the time to form your fantasy football leagues, and Hot Shots is the perfect meeting place. Hot Shots has the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports while you have a great view of the beautiful servers as well as the games. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with golden tea, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and the massive 105-inch screen, so you always have the best view. Hot Shots in Webster Groves at Watson and Laclede Station Road. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 and Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time. When you need work done on your home, who do you call? A big major contractor? Some no-name guy with a sign on his truck? Or a locally owned business with 21 years experience in the area you can trust? CBS Construction will come out and give you a free estimate for the job you want done. Specializing in roofs and exteriors, CBS Construction can make the home improvement process easy and a finished product you can trust and be proud of. Call 314-723-0177 today. That's 314-723-0177.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes, which will motivate and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final start at 6. This is a national physique qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure, physique, bikini classes, along with masters teams, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center, Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Our line's open at 314-399-8923. We thank Bo for visiting with us, and he'll handicap the division series coming up on Thursday. Hey, I want to remind you that the next 45 days are critical if you've had any roof damage in 2014 from the storms. Why are they so critical? Well, a number of reasons. But these homes, these roofs that are damaged, are going to be looked at differently by the insurance company in 2015 because they changed stipulations on what they consider damage to make things like roofs harder to get approved for a full roof replacement. So anywhere in town, from the high winds in November and February, you need to have your house looked at. You need to have your roof inspected for free, and Zycan Exteriors will do it for free. 636-345-6873 for free. Now, keep in mind, the fly-by-nighters are in town because we had all of that hail damage in those areas the last 4 weeks in Chesterfield, Baldwin, Manchester, Olivet. All that hail damage brings the fly-by-nighters in town. They're here today, gone tomorrow. But those aren't the people that you want to have do your repairs. You want a reputable company. If it's not Zycan Exteriors, then someone who's reputable. But Zycan Exteriors I can talk about personally because they had my roof, and they got me a full roof replacement. And it was wind damage. And all I did was call them because you have nothing to lose. Get that roof inspected now. The next 45 days are critical from an insurance standpoint. 636-345-6873. 6873. Because if you don't, you're going to have trouble getting full approval next year, and that is not going to be fun when you say to yourself, I should have listened to Slayton. The storm season's coming to the close. You want that new roof now, and you get the free roof inspection. Now, you may miss an opportunity without the inspection being done by a Zycan professional because they meet your adjuster and go up on the roof. They take the pain out of dealing with the insurance company. And if you've had an insurance company give you an estimate as a partial roof replacement, you can still get another inspection, but make sure Zycan Exteriors is there with you because they turn partials into full roof replacements like they did for me. All upgraded Owens Corning shingles, A+ rating, Better Business Bureau, locally owned and operated, fully insured, storm damage experts. All that strong wind and hail, chances are you've got damage. But no commitment. They'll give you a free inspection. And they'll tell you all the damage that you have. Don't forget, get it done now. The next 45 days are critical. 636-345-6873. When no one else can, Zycan. Joey is up next. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Joey, how are you today?
Boy, Kevin, better the year back. You know, the last 3 to 4 days during the week, I was nearly driving into ditches during the 3 to 6 hours.
Hey, well, you just listened to our best of, and that would have kept you going.
You know, I did actually do that, but since I'm such a loyal listener, I had heard it all before, but I actually listened to some of it again because everything else was so terrible. Of course, while you were gone, we suffered the incident where texting TJMO equals TJMO now gets to talk on the radio. I find that one quite humorous.
Yeah, he's such an expert, but he claims he has no training and he's not very good, but he's an expert. And he refers to Missouri as we and us. That's what you'll want. Folks, you'll never get it sugar-coated here. You'll always get the truth unvarnished. But if you want to be catered to and pandered to with all the propagandists in town, you have several choices around town.
Indeed. And Kevin, I just want to hit you with 2 quick points. The first one, I want to give a carpe diem to Jose Altuve, who the Astros front office tried to sit out on Sunday, but he told them I'm playing anyway and went ahead and won the batting title, had a few hits.
Good for him. He reminds me of Ted Williams. Remember when he was trying to hit 400, He was at 399 and change going into the final Sunday. It would have been rounded off to 400. And the Red Sox told him he didn't have to play. They had a doubleheader that day. He said, play me both games. He went out and went 6 for 8 and hit 406.
Exactly. Get out there and earn it on the field. And lastly, Kevin, I don't know what you think of this, but I have a nightmare scenario that if this happens, baseball should just shut down. LaRusse is having this Oakland reunion out there in Arizona. What do you think, Kevin, as soon as the Dodgers get knocked out of the playoffs, new manager out there, Mark McGwire?
Oh, I think LaRussa is definitely going to entertain hiring McGwire. I mean, all that's going on out there in Arizona now is LaRusse bag bringing in his buddies. I mean, I thought he was trying to win, but he's just bringing in his buddies. So if you're the owner of the Diamondbacks, you've got nobody to blame but yourself for ever bringing that pompous ass in there. Now he's got Dave Stewart as his general manager, and then LaRussa has the nerve to say that he wants somebody who's pulled the trigger before. Well, Dave Stewart hasn't, and neither have you, by the way, LaRusse bag, running a team. He's never run a team in his life from an organizational standpoint, and yet they hired him without pulling the trigger, but he won't give someone else that same courtesy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, the double talk that comes out of that guy.
It's so bad, Kevin. I knew he was going to fire Gibson. Whether or not Gibson, he looked like a good manager a few years ago. Now he didn't, but you knew he was going to fire him because, Kirky took one of Tony's World Series away from with that home run, so there's no way Gibson was going to hang around.
Yeah, Gibson was done from the time LaRussa said yes out there. Gibson knew he was done.
Yeah, but Kevin, if he hires McGwire and Selig allows that, whatever credibility baseball had left, which isn't much, will be totally gone.
Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks should be ashamed of themselves if they allow McGwire in there because they're simply enabling the steroid cheats to continue to thrive if that happens. McGwire shouldn't even be considered as a manager.
No, he shouldn't even be considered. But you know what? McGwire, he'll get hired out there as the manager, and the pitching coach will be. They'll pull Dennis Eckersley off the Red Sox pregame. With Duncan whispering in his ear. We're having a full reunion out there, King.
And remember how LaRusse bag loves Bonds, so he may have Bonds on the coaching staff for McGwire.
Oh, you know what? Bonds can be the hitting coach, Kevin.
Yeah, there you go. Let's get them all back out there.
Oh, gosh.
Bring Troy Gluckston.
Glad to have you back. Have a great week, man.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate the call. It's embarrassing out there in Arizona, but it's no more embarrassing than we are here by the Rams. Listen to this now. The St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame is inducting Kurt Warner into its ranks. Keep this in mind now. The St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame is inducting Kurt Warner. However, the St. Louis Rams, for whom he led to 2 Super Bowls, won 2 MVPs, and then a third MVP as the MVP of the Super Bowl, won the only Super Bowl in the team's history, can't seem to understand why they should retire his number. They just can't figure that out. Well, why? Well, why? They can't get it. Yet he's good enough to be inducted in the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. He's not special enough for the Rams to retire his number. That's one of the most shameful acts of insincerity that this organization has ever perpetrated on this town, and that means they've done a lot of them. This is just one of the worst. Glenn is up next. Welcome, Glenn, to the Pass the Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. How are you?
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I just got a kick out of Brian Bollinger, which I live in St. Charles. I think he's from he's from South St. Louis.
He's from South Carolina.
But anyway, when he said the media and a newspaper would be banned if they said anything bad about the Cardinals. I mean, isn't that sad?
It's pathetic, but it's true.
Isn't that blackmail?
It's exactly true. Hey, they did it to me when I was critical of LaRusse bag and Duncan and his hillbilly kid. When we sent a reporter down there from 590 to do post-game interviews, said, "Yeah, we don't do any for your station because you're Slayton." Ooh, wow, that really bothered me. I couldn't care less. That's what they do. And the old Cardinal regime, not the DeWitts, but the previous Cardinal regime, way back when Stuart Meyer was president, ban me from the press box.
Well, it's a one-paper town, like you said, and he's one of the first people to come on the air besides you, and in the national media and everything, and say that kind of stuff. And I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Bo's not going to sugarcoat it. He'll tell you the truth, and that's why I love having him on, because you hear from a real baseball guy, and you don't hear all the ass covering that goes on around town in other places.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, that's all I had. I got a kick out of listening to that, because that must be the damn truth, because those people never say anything wrong. If you read the paper or you listen to the sports radio stations, nothing negative is ever said. Now, I really appreciate you and your show.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the call. Bernie wrote that the Rams aren't one of the top 16 teams in the NFL, but they clearly aren't the worst. Well, there's always Tampa Bay, I suppose, since the Rams somehow beat them in Tampa. But I'll tell you what, except for the Raiders, and I think the Raiders are better than the Rams, and I think Jacksonville's better than the Rams. Jacksonville has a much brighter future with Blake Bortles, and I think Oakland has a much brighter future with Derek Carr and perhaps Matt Schaub, now that Sperano is the coach. See who he plays. But if the Rams aren't the worst team in the NFL, they're in the bottom 5. There isn't any doubt about that. But they'd rather whine about penalties.
You're not that good.
No, they're really not. Let's see if we can cry some more about penalties. Jeff Fisher, who coaches the dirtiest brand of football in the NFL, gets penalized more than everybody else in the NFL. And it's because his team is woefully undisciplined, as we've said for years now on this show. And it's proven to be correct. When it's validated by their constant cheap shots and their constant illegal play, why would you doubt it? But Fisher complains about it. All right, time to take a quick break. We'll do that, and we'll come back right here in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court after this.
Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your upcoming NFL action and, of course, our Redbirds. NASCAR is in full swing, and now is the time to form your fantasy football leagues, and Hot Shots is the perfect meeting place. Hot Shots has the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports while you have a great view of the beautiful servers as well as the games. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with Golden Tee, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and the massive 105-inch screen, so you always have the best view. Hot Shots in Webster Groves at Watson and Laclede Station Road. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 and Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time. When you need work done on your home, who do you call? A big major contractor? Some no-name guy with a sign on his truck? Or a locally owned business with 21 years experience in the area you can trust? CBS Construction will come out and give you a free estimate for the job you want done. Specializing in roofs and exteriors, CBS Construction can make the home improvement process easy and a finished product you can trust and be proud of. Call 314-723-0177 today. That's 314-723-0177.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253. Or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes, which will motivate and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final start at 6. This is a national physique qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure, physique, bikini classes, along with masters teams, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center, Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
I'm Kathy Cutis, part of the fourth generation of the Tom Cutis family. The Cutis family is here to personally guarantee that when the time arrives for funeral arrangements, no one will be pressured to make decisions that would not fit your family needs. Our trained, licensed funeral directors will answer your questions and you make the decisions. If you feel you are in a situation that does not give you the time to decide what is best for your family, you are in the wrong place. Contact Cutis Funeral Homes, affordability with dignity for over 100 years.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes, which will motivate and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final start at 6. This is a national physique qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure, physique, bikini classes, along with masters teams, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center, Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
You will respect the authority. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back in with a little Harry Chapin here in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Our line's always open for you, 314-399-8923. Always time for an ice-cold Pabst Blue Ribbon. The best tasting beer and the best price beer in the world. Yeah, you're saying, well, Kevin, that's a little extravagant. No, I'm not. It isn't just me. Blind taste testing panels at international beer tasting competitions continue to vote Pabst Blue Ribbon the gold medal, the silver medal, the bronze medal. How does that happen? Those blind taste testing panels are made up of the general public and brewmasters. Here's why it happens. It's the best tasting beer around. We all drank it in college because of the price. Little did we know we were drinking the best. Now, there's a lot of propaganda breweries who try to shove it down your throat that they have the best tasting beer. It's really just a watered-down colored water. Pabst Blue Ribbon's a real beer, an award-winning beer since 1844, the American original red, white, and blue. With an award-winning ribbon as its logo, it doesn't get any better than that. But here, do it for yourself. Put down the beer of choice that you've been drinking if it's not Pabst Blue Ribbon. Give it 2 weeks and drink Pabst Blue Ribbon instead. Take the taste test challenge for yourself. I think you'll agree with me that it's the best tasting beer. I know and I guarantee that you'll save money. It's a good gig. Pabst Blue Ribbon. It is the best beer. Best tasting beer, too. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are one of the favorites. In fact, according to Las Vegas, the favorite to have the best record in the NBA this year. They're saying the over-under is 58.5 wins. Oklahoma City is 57.5. The Spurs, 56.5. The Bulls, 55.5. The Clippers 55.5. Golden State 50.5. Last year, the Cavs season total prior to the season was over under 40.5, and they won 33. But we know they have LeBron James. We know they have Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving. Now, when James was at Cleveland the first go-around, he was there 7 years. They averaged just under 51 wins. But they had averaged just 24.5 wins the previous 4 years, these past 4 years, while James was with the Heat. Yikes. And the Miami Heat projected at 43.5 over and under. With Paul George's injury, the Pacers are projected at 52.5. I always get a kick out of those numbers. The 76ers projected to win the fewest games, 15.5. I think 76ers lost 20-something in a row this year at one point. Couldn't they go over 15.5, though, wouldn't you think? You would think. All right, 399-8923. Those are our numbers right here in the Passport Urban Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. I can't get over the fact that the Rams won't retire Kurt Warner's number, yet he's being inducted into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. It's kind of laughable, isn't it? You think that will happen with Tom Brady in New England when the day comes? By the way, Rodney Harrison, the former defensive back safety for the Patriots, and now the Sunday Night Football commentator on NBC, who does a good job, by the way. He says that Tom Brady looks scared to death in the pocket because the offensive line of the Patriots is so bad. He has no protection. They can't run block. I mean, if you think about it, watching the Patriots is torture. How they're 2-2 is almost miraculous. That's more about the relative weakness of the NFL than it is about the Patriots being a 500 team. I don't think the Patriots are a 500 team. I truly don't. Not this year. Will Brady and Belichick be able to coax it out of this team? I don't know. But shame on the Patriots for not doing enough to help Tom Brady these last 5 years. What they've been able to accomplish in the regular season the last 5 years and going to a Super Bowl is almost off the charts because they haven't been that good. All right, George is with us in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, George. How are you?
Hey, Kevin, it's good to have you back. I'm glad you enjoyed the trip, but you know, it was like we were on, all of us disciples were on what you'd call, we need oxygen or something. You know what I'm saying?
You needed oxygen with me going. Well, I don't want that to happen.
Well, you left us dry, but well, that's okay.
We had the rewinds.
You needed a vacation.
Listen, I did.
There's a couple things. One, the Rams have been a joke since they were in Baltimore. And then somehow Rosenblum dies under very mysterious circumstances, and she winds up with the team rather than his two sons.
Well,
you recall that, right?
That whole change of ownership thing was bizarre. And then Carol Rosenblum, you're referring to, who was the owner of the Colts, then the Rams, they swapped teams. Then he mysteriously died while swimming in the Pacific Ocean, and yet he was a champion swimmer, and he drowned. There have been, conspiracy theories that thought that he was murdered in the Pacific Ocean. Georgia Frontier inherited the team, and she had to fight off his sons, Steve Rosenblum, first and foremost. But she had the team, and then when she died, her children got it, and they sold it.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question, Kev. I believe that the Rams, from the get-go, if you take them once they were gotten out to Los Angeles, their record overall, they've been very, very poor. One of the worst teams around, franchises around. So what do you expect from them? Now, here's what I would like you to do, Kevin. I'm a big Hannafin fan. Is there any way, and then you could possibly get Jim Hannafin on the show. I know you're good friends with him. And ask him how you evaluate that talent when you're picking linemen like that, and what the Rams can do. What would he do with these guys, these perennial dogs that they have? Is there any way you can get Jim on and talk to him?
Sure, we always have Jim on. So and actually we're about due to have him on again. We don't overdo it because we don't want to. It's not fair to him. But we have him on from time to time, and he's wonderful, and he always has been. And he's a very accessible guy. And so it's about time for us to get Jim Hanifin back on.
Well, I'd appreciate it. Just give me a little notice, when he's on. That's all I ask. Listen, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you had a nice time out there in Boston. And have a nice day. Thanks for taking the call.
Thanks, George. We always appreciate you weighing in, and we don't want anybody to be deprived of oxygen, so I won't take a vacation for a while. How's that? 314-399-8923 is our number. Let's take a break, though, right here in the Past Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. We're back after this.
Child arrived just the other day.
When you need work done on your home, who do you call? A big major contractor? Some no-name guy with a sign on his truck? Or a locally owned business with 21 years experience in the area you can trust? CBS Construction will come out and give you a free estimate for the job you want done. Specializing in roofs and exteriors, CBS Construction can make the home improvement process easy and a finished product you can trust and be proud of. Call 314-723-0177 today. That's 314-723-0177.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right. Every woman who calls right now can get a full-size, risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Sports Talk Radio.
Finally, the holidays are over, and I have a few New Year's resolutions for you to start 2014 off right. When your sex life is great, life seems great, and it's a fact that people who have sexual stimulation 4 or more times a week, according to Oxford University, are happier, more confident, and make more money. You might not be able to have more sex or even have a partner at this time, but the key word was stimulation. Pure Pleasure at any of their 5 locations near you in St. Louis, St. Peters, Pevely, St. Charles, and Fairview Heights, Illinois, can help you with a variety of toys, DVDs, and other items to help in this area. Pure Pleasure locations are ready to serve you and have what you need to make 2014 happier and more productive in many ways. There's nothing embarrassing or more natural than sex and the desire for it. And better sex is something Pure Pleasure can help you with today. Stop by any of their 5 area locations or visit purepleasurestl.com. purepleasurestl.com.
We all realize the economy has been on a downturn. Jobs are scarce and money is not easy to come by. That's why it is now more important than ever to use locally owned and operated businesses. I'm Karen Cutis, and at Cutis Funeral Home, we realize keeping St. Louis money in St. Louis strengthens our economy. Cutis Funeral Home is St. Louis owned and operated, employing over 100 St. Louisans in our area and putting money back into our community. Cutis Funeral Home, affordability with dignity since 1910.
Fall is the best time of year to golf in the STL. The weather is enjoyable and the courses are ready for you. Hopefully you have figured out those flaws in your game. Making a tee time is as easy as checking out the course of interest. Click, pay, and save $10 for using golfaroundstl.com. Go to one of the many courses that subscribe to golfaroundstl.com on their website. Choose your tee time and enter the code 590. That's 590 and get $10 off your game. It's that simple. Golfaroundstl.com tee times must be scheduled within 7 days of the reservation. Use the 590 code and the discount will be applied at the pro shop when you check in for your round. This offer cannot be used with any other promotion, and you must have your reservation at the time of check-in. Any question about the service can be directed to golfer at midwestgolfnetwork.com. Golfaroundstl.com saves you time and money. Try it today.
Please remove those hats. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
We welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you on this Tuesday afternoon. Our lines are open as always, 314-399-8923. You can also stream us live at talkstl.com. Talkstl.com. Just take us with you anywhere you go. That's a free app to download, and you can be listening to us. Hey, our good friends at Taco Bell want you to know right about this time of day, if you're just driving around hungry for a snack or for a full meal, or have that dollar menu, that dollar crave menu, 11 items for $1 each. And you can eat a lot when you got 11 things to choose from for $11. Only Taco Bell has that. Only Taco Bell has the quesarito. And if you haven't had that, your mouth will water. You should have it. Only Taco Bell has the Doritos Locos Tacos, the classic Taco Bell on the inside, the shell made of real nacho cheese Doritos. Only Taco Bell has the Cool Ranch Doritos Tacos, the soft and hard shell tacos. Only Taco Bell has the Breakfast Club. Opens up about 7 in the morning around these parts. The Cinnabon Delights. Take a bunch of them to work, and you'll be the hit in your workplace. You will be. Everybody will be talking to you. Or just get the AM Crunch Wrap, the waffle taco, the steak and egg burrito, the AM grilled taco, the sausage flatbread melt, the regular breakfast burrito. It's a phenomenal Breakfast Club menu from Taco Bell, and I prefer to support locally owned businesses, so I go to locally owned Taco Bells. There's one in Chesterfield Valley. There's another one in Chesterfield on Olive, one in Washington, Missouri, Union, St. Clair, over in Illinois, Columbia, Waterloo, Jerseyville, Salem, Troy, Illinois, and Carbondale, Illinois. Those are all locally owned Taco Bells. For the Breakfast Club, for the $1 crave menu that has 11 different items for $1, to the quesarito, Taco Bell is your best bet. Greg is up first in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Greg. How are you?
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. Just one thing about Kurt Warner. Outstanding player, great character, great family guy, great morale, great role model for kids. Nothing. Go up to Baltimore, Ray Lewis, you get a statue. Thanks.
Thank you, Greg, for succinctly putting it just like it is. All those things he recited about Kurt Warner are true, and yet, why would you want to retire his number? Why would you want to give him a statue? He's being inducted into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, but the Rams are asleep at the switch. They probably won't even send a delegation to that honoring luncheon.
And you would think at how big of an embarrassment this franchise is right now, they would want to do something. I mean, anything.
That's the no-brainer. Let's get some positive vibe going here, and let's bring Kurt in and retire his number. My God, at least some people might think we're still in the Super Bowl.
There might be a pulse in the dome.
It's unbelievable how backward this organization and how short-sighted and blind to reality they are. They truly are. They'll retire Leonard Little's number before they retire Kurt Warner's. It's amazing how you could be that out of touch, but they are. I mean, look, they're paying a coach $7 million a year to be 7-9, and this year not even that.
What the hell's going on out here?
Coach Vince, you'd be ashamed of the game you coach so well. You'd be ashamed of the game that bears your name on the trophy, the championship trophy. Yeah, and ESPN doesn't care either. Ray Lewis had to plead in a double murder, had to turn coat on other people in order to save his own hide, and yet he's one of their featured guys on their football coverage. Now, I'm all for guys getting a second chance, but isn't there somebody else that, by the way, could actually speak English? That might even be a good thing. Sure there are. It's unbelievable, though. Kind of blows you away. But why should we be surprised anymore? Why should we be? Some great matchups this weekend in college football, by the way. Ole Miss and Alabama. That could be a good one. Can Ole Miss upset them? I don't know. Hugh Freeze and the unbeaten Rebels and Nick Saban and the unbeaten Crimson Tide. By the way, Lane Kiffin's having a great impact on the offense for Alabama. Those people that hate Lane Kiffin for no reason. Missouri's off this week, I believe. I don't think they play. They had the win over South Carolina. I've never seen Steve Spurrier coach such a poor game with easy decisions to make and blowing the decisions. Who doesn't go for 2 points in that situation? I've seen coaches go for 2 when they shouldn't. Lots of them do that. But that was an obvious one. Obvious one. And he didn't do it. Lost. That's pretty amazing for him to do that. He did, and he lost at home. I don't know how that happens, but it did. Michael says he was shocked by the turnaround. How could your own head coach be surprised and shocked? Probably because he didn't know what to tell him at halftime. Hey, you looking at me?
Holy crap.
I don't have the answer. I don't. And he did, but Matty Mock did. He made some big plays at the end. But Missouri wins it because Steve Spurrier didn't go for 2 points. Now, who would have ever thought an obvious decision like that in the fourth quarter would be overlooked by the head ball coach?
And who would have thought there would be a coach that could be undercoached?
Right.
Or could undercoach Pink.
Right. And he did. And he did it at home. I'm not so sure if Pink did anything. He was just even keel. He didn't do anything to win the game, but Spurrier did everything to lose the game.
Actually, one of your mics that we have set up in the Mizzou camp caught a little Pinkle after the game.
Oh, really?
This is right after the game, actually.
Oh, boy.
What happened? I blacked out.
You won. I can understand blacking out in that situation. You got all those people screaming against you. Your offense is going 3 and out 6 times. I don't think enough. All the offenses combined against South Carolina prior to Saturday went 6 times 3 and out. South Carolina's defense has been horrific, but Missouri found a way to make it look like the 85 Bears.
Holy crap.
And then, by the way, that vaunted Indiana team goes out and loses Saturday to a bad team. How big will that loss to Indiana? Have you seen Missouri's conference? By the way, this great SEC. I mean, just look at the teams that Missouri gets to play in the SEC. Georgia will cause them trouble. I think Georgia beats them. Florida is terrible. Kentucky is terrible. Better than they've been, but still terrible. Vanderbilt's beyond terrible. Tennessee's okay. Boy, that's a tough division. South Carolina is worse than they've been in 5 years. It's a top-heavy conference. And by the way, there's no way Florida State's the number one team in the country. Their defense is number 600. There's only 300 teams. But there's no way they're the best team in the country. They won't be winning anything this year. Pac-12, the Big 12, still in my book, the top to bottom, the best conferences. This year it's starting to look like maybe the Pac-12 is the best. And yet, you may not have a team in that playoff. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Big showdown in the Big 10 this weekend. That's going to be, and people say, well, what are you talking about? The Big 10, they're no good. Who's any good in the Big 10? Well, I would venture to say that Wisconsin, Michigan State, those teams are very good.
I think that quarterback from Michigan State looks real good.
Yeah, and you know what? Michigan State and the Big Ten have put out a lot of quarterbacks. That's because they play professional-style offense in the Big Ten. Now, I'm in agreement that the Big Ten isn't strong top to bottom. Just isn't. Even the top team, Michigan State, lost at Oregon. But it was at Oregon. Let's not forget that. If you play that game at Michigan State, who do you suppose wins that game? I'd like to see it. I think Michigan State wins. But we'll never know this year because they played it at Oregon. But I like Michigan State. I like the way they play. They play strong defense. It's amazing how good they've become and how bad Michigan is. Michigan's 2-3. But Nebraska's at Michigan State Saturday night. Now, Nebraska's unbeaten, and we'll find out if their soft schedule concealed a bad team or if they're actually good and their schedule is representative. Well, that's the big showdown this weekend. Ohio State goes on the road. LSU's at Auburn this weekend. Bama, Ole Miss. So some big showdown games. Anthony's up next in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Anthony. How are you?
Hello, King. How are you, sir?
Doing well.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I got chills watching the Derek Jeter moment when the walk-off in Yankee Stadium. Here's my one hang-up, King. You single-handedly ruined the entire moment for me, and you know how?
I don't.
Do you remember when there was a time you had a promo on your radio show where you said all baseball is cheating? How in the hell am I supposed to believe that Derek Jeter is not part of that, just based on the age and the era that he played in?
Well, I said there are exceptions. I even mentioned David Eckstein as one of them. And I believe that Jeter's the other. There are others, but they're few and far between. These are not guys who hit for extraordinary power. These are not guys, Jeter and Eckstein and guys of their ilk, who did something that they didn't do before that. These are not guys whose bodies were transformed by a needle. That's why I believe they didn't cheat. Adam Wainwright, I don't believe, was a cheater. You didn't see a change in his body.
Just sad that you even have to even give 1 ounce of consideration to a guy like Derek Jeter, who, God knows I hate the Yankees, but for a guy who did it for 20 years and played the right way, and when guys on his team, a la Robinson Cano, who refused to play it the right way, got chased out of the Bronx. I love seeing guys like him. He's going to be desperately missed, and I'm extremely envious that you got to see that and partake of that final weekend. It's something you'll never, ever see again.
No.
So, congratulations to you, King.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. We were helped out. I'll tell you what, some friends who took care of us, and we were blessed. And believe me, blessed is the right word, because, first of all, I'd never been to Fenway, so that was a thrill beyond belief. Bucket list checked off. And then to see Jeter's last game, last at bat, see the way the Red Sox honored him, which was phenomenal. It was all, they pulled out all the stops in Boston. And to hear the Yankee fans take over Fenway Park was even more phenomenal as a Yankee fan myself. But the Yankees and Red Sox have some tough decisions ahead of them. Obviously, you don't replace Derek Jeter. And as a person, you don't replace him. And I think you look at somebody's character, and that's when you realize that they, in your own mind, and we have to make that determination, that they didn't cheat. You look at the way Jeter was brought up. You look at the influences in his life. You look at the way he handled himself. So you would never suspect him of cheating. At least I wouldn't. If I found out that Derek Jeter cheated, I'd be the most shocked person in the world. You look at the character of the guy. Eckstein the same way. Wainwright the same way. I just don't believe those guys cheated. And they didn't do superhuman things. Jeter didn't do anything superhuman. He was just a great player and an even better person. Wainwright, he hasn't gone out and won 35 games. Eckstein didn't hit 25 home runs being a little guy. So I don't think those guys were of the cheating variety.
I was talking to you about how playing the Derek Jeter compilation that I put together for the first hour yesterday, I was kind of getting choked up. I read a book. I'd always been a big Derek Jeter fan. He had a book they put out a long time ago called The Life You Imagine. And it's about how, anyone can accomplish what they want as long as they put in the work. And it talks about how all he would ever do is play baseball. That's all he ever wanted to do is be a baseball player. And he just focused on that. So, I mean, just from reading a guy's book like that, I don't think that he would ever want to put that on himself.
No.
He
not
takes,
that kind of guy.
He takes too much pride in what he's accomplished to have anything tarnished with anything like steroids or even you can go with off-field issues like beating a girlfriend or something. None of that. You never. It was Derek Jeter on the field, and that was it.
And that comes from the upbringing. You heard Brian Boehringer, who was Jeter's teammate, tell us about that. It's the parental upbringing that he had, and he was blessed to have, and he brings that up. He talks about that. There's a great story where Jeter, of course, his leadership skills have always shown through, but he came to the mound, was a young pitcher pitching, and he said to him, hey, stick with your fastball and your breaking ball, and those two pitches will carry you through. And by the way, start having some ground balls hit to me. You're boring me to death over here. Now, you think, oh, boy, what Yankee pitcher was that? That was when he was in the minor leagues. He had that kind of leadership. Derek Jeter. We'll not see his kind again, and I'm sad to say that. You always hope for the exception. It used to be the norm. Not anymore. 314-399-8923. We'll come right back with more of the show on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court after this.
I'm Kathy Cutis, part of the fourth generation of the Tom Cutis family. The Cutis family is here to personally guarantee that when the time arrives for funeral arrangements, no one will be pressured to make decisions that would not fit your family needs. Our trained, licensed funeral directors will answer your questions and you make the decisions. If you feel you are in a situation that does not give you the time to decide what is best for your family, you are in the wrong place. Contact Cutis Funeral Homes, affordability with dignity for over 100 years.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final start at 6. This is a national physique qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure, physique, bikini classes, along with masters teams, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center, Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
When you need work done on your home, who do you call? A big major contractor? Some no-name guy with a sign on his truck? Or a locally owned business with 21 years experience in the area you can trust? CBS Construction will come out and give you a free estimate for the job you want done. Specializing in roofs and exteriors, CBS Construction can make the home improvement process easy and a finished product you can trust and be proud of. Call 314-723-0177 today. That's 314-723-0177.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right, every woman who calls right now can get a full-size, risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up in a harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253. Or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Sports Talk Radio.
Finally, the holidays are over, and I have a few New Year's resolutions for you to start 2014 off right. When your sex life is great, life seems great, and it's a fact that people who have sexual stimulation 4 or more times a week, according to Oxford University, are happier, more confident, and make more money. You might not be able to have more sex or even have a partner at this time, but the key word was stimulation. Pure Pleasure at any of their 5 locations near you in St. Louis, St. Peters, Pevely, St. Charles, and Fairview Heights, Illinois can help you with a variety of toys, DVDs, and other items to help in this area. Pure Pleasure locations are ready to serve you and have what you need to make 2014 happier and more productive in many ways. There's nothing embarrassing or more natural than sex and the desire for it. And better sex is something Pure Pleasure can help you with today. Stop by any of their 5 area locations or visit purepleasurestl.com. purepleasurestl.com.
You will respect the authority. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
We welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you, coming up on 5:30 in St. Louis on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com. Just download that free app, talkstl.com, and there you have us. You can take us with you wherever you want. Crystal clear signal all the time at talkstl.com. All right, Bill is up first. Welcome to the show, Bill. How are you today?
Good. How's it going?
Doing well.
Hey, Kevin, I was just listening to you talk about Jeter and his character, and with talk about guys of character like Eckstein before Jeter. And I was just curious. I was wanting to get your opinion. One of my thoughts has always been like, what's your opinion on Ozzie? Because I've been thinking, Ozzie played in the time of the beginning of the steroid sheets, and I watched his body transform from a little guy of 160 pounds, 150 pounds to a big bulky guy, and he built up his average. I know it might be blasphemy here in St. Louis.
Well, no. It's not blasphemy it's not blasphemy if it were true, but Ozzie never got big.
Ozzie did big, but he put on a lot of weight.
No, he didn't.
He put on some bulk, and he went from a 220 hitter to a 300 hitter. It's my opinion.
He improved. Yes, he did improve. He improved as a hitter, but he didn't bulk up at all. Ozzie never got big. Ozzie stayed the same, throughout his career. He became a good hitter.
I mean, you would expect a 19-year-old to grow, and it's not like he ever had power numbers shoot up.
Right. Ozzie never had big power numbers. The only thing that improved with Ozzie through the years was his average, because when he got with Whitey, they made a friendly wager, and it was as simple as that. Every ball you hit in the air, you owe me $1. Every ball you hit on the ground, I owe you $1. And Ozzie learned to hit down, use his speed, and hit line drives. Ozzie was never a power hitter, never was powerful at all, and his body never changed. I mean, except the natural maturity of a young kid growing into a man.
Right. That happens too. I've experienced that myself. Yeah, but I just always wonder. He was around at the time, at the beginning of the steroid cheats. In my opinion, he was there with the rest of them. And as he got older, I just noticed his average grow, and he got stockier. And my opinion, he did get stockier.
I disagree with you. I disagree with that.
I've always been curious about that. I was just curious about your opinion.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I don't. But my eyes don't deceive me. I looked at the same guy you did. Never once struck me that Ozzie was doing anything wrong, and he never had power numbers. So he was just a great athlete who just happened to be a smaller guy, and he used that great work ethic that he had to improve as a hitter. He didn't improve his power numbers at all. He just became a better hitter because he hit the ball to his strength on the ground or line drives.
I think I just had a revelation. The whole reason why Tony La Russa basically fleed Ozzie Smith from the scene is because he wouldn't take steroids.
Probably true. Ozzie was the guy who resisted it, so La Russa said, "Get out of here.
You don't take roids, get off my team.
I want a roider at every position."
All right, Kevin. Thanks. I was just wondering. I just wanted your opinion on it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate the call. But that's like saying Willie McGee did steroids. I mean, neither one of those guys, their bodies never transformed into something Popeye-like.
Smith might have hit 300 once or twice. He was like a 250 hitter. He raised his average. We've seen Molina do the same thing. But when Smith started playing, of course he was small. He was a young kid. You grow when you get older normally. Or were you that size your whole life?
No, you certainly transition into your natural maturity. You look at the early years of Derek Jeter when he was a kid. I mean, that's the way you look. You look like a kid. And you get a little bigger as the years go by, and I'm sure weight training was a part of it for some of those little guys to increase their strength so that they would be able to make it through the season, but not in terms of power. And Ozzie was never a power hitter. And Ozzie especially remained wiry, and that great ability to the range that he had. You don't bulk up and still have the kind of range that Ozzie had as a shortstop.
Oh, okay.
Ozzie's highest home run total in any given season was 6. Other than that, it was 3. He had 28 home runs in 19 years. So it just doesn't translate. Ozzie's career batting average was only 262. He hit 303 one year and 295 another year. Those were his closest flirtations with 300. So I don't know where the caller got that information. Rick is up next. Welcome, Rick, to the Pass the Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Listen, I wanted to fill you in on the Ozzie stuff. He, toward the middle part of his career, he started working with a fitness guru at the time called Mackie
Shilstone. You're right.
Who also worked with Michael Spinks, who brought him up from a light heavyweight to a heavyweight. So Ozzie did get thicker and stronger, but nothing like a cartoonish steroid blow-up type of thing.
Yeah, and I don't.
Part of that was working with this guy named, I don't know if you recall him, but he worked with a lot of pro athletes at that point in time.
Yeah, he did.
And he worked with Michael Spinks before he upset Larry Holmes to win a part of the heavyweight crown back in the day. And his name was Mackie Shilstone.
Yeah, I never recall Ozzie getting thicker. As I said, he got stronger. But I never looked at Ozzie and thought, wow, he got thicker. I never thought that by his look. And the workouts were designed for endurance, as I recall, that Shilstone had a program for that. And Ozzie's endurance improved because he was injured a little bit. But if you look at his years, the 1 year in 81, last year in San Diego, he had 500 at-bats. And when he came to St. Louis, Well, actually 450 at bats. I'm sorry. He never. Well, he did. He dipped in 1984. He dipped to 412, and I think that's about the time you're talking about when Shilstone came.
Right, and
came
he
around.
didn't really. He's not obviously a steroid person. He did work on fitness and endurance, and he got stronger, as you said, as a natural. You're a little bigger at 26 than you are at 19 and 20, and you're a little bigger at 30, even still. But I just think that. But the bigger takeaway is, look how much of a cloud steroids are that Jeter or Ozzie, everybody's under the cloud. And the reason why that cloud's there is baseball didn't police it when they should have.
Right.
Look the other way. As a matter of fact, even tacitly encouraged it. And it just shows you how much of a cloud, even though it's off the front pages today, how much of a cloud everybody from early 90s to present is under that cloud, no matter what.
It is amazing, and you're exactly right about that. And when you think about Ozzie, as I described it, he became a line drive hitter and hit the ball on the ground. His best year hitting doubles was 40, and that particular year he hit 0 home runs. There's a shocker for you. Ozzie played 19 years. He only scored 100 runs one time. I would have thought. Surprising. I would have thought, being at the top of the lineup, he would have scored a lot more runs than that. But those 80 Cardinals in the 80s, they were a running team, not necessarily a scoring machine.
Right, and if they didn't execute, to a high degree, very, very well, damn near perfectly, they'd bomb out. That's why they were great in 82, and then 84 they were terrible. Then 85 they're back in the World Series, and 86 they weren't that good. But 87 they're back in the World Series because they had no margin for error. They didn't execute dang near perfectly. They weren't going to have a successful season, and that's why there were a couple of dogs in there in the 80s because based upon the lineup and the style, they didn't execute at a very, very high efficiency. There was no way they'd win, and Ozzie didn't score a whole lot of runs.
Ozzie averaged just a shade over 20 doubles a year for his career. So those aren't numbers of anybody who did anything to enhance their performance in terms of strength. I just think Ozzie took great care of himself, and he dedicated himself to playing the game the way he knew he'd be the most successful after he got with Whitey Herzog. Now, you look at his averages in San Diego, rookie 258, not bad, but then 211, 230, and 222. And then he came over.
I got one more comment. One of the worst things Tony La Russa did was make the open promise to St. Louis legend Ozzie Smith. If the job is a fair competition, and boom,
and just lie to him.
Obviously, it wasn't, and it went to Royce Clayton. But Matheny, this spring, this really publicized that, and the guy kind of had a lost season. But Carlos Martinez and Joe Kelly were supposedly having an open competition.
Right.
Where in the spring, where clearly Carlos Martinez had the better spring, he should have won the competition for the last starter spot, but he didn't get it, and he was done wrong by Matheny.
No doubt.
And the whole season, he's been kind of lost.
I couldn't agree with you more, by the way. And I said that earlier in the year. Part of his struggles have to be from the neck up, and who wouldn't be struggling when a manager promises you one thing and then delivers another after you won the competition? It wasn't close, by the way. It was by a mile. And then they turn around and trade Kelly, and they still don't give him a chance.
Yeah, and so you wonder why he's been up and down or missing. He's right. I mean, the guy has electric stuff, and today you need to have somebody who could be a strikeout pitcher, and he was. Not the Dave Duncan pitch to contact type of mentality, and but I think they fried his mind, and it could have ramifications throughout his career now.
I'm with you there.
So that was, I think, terribly underreported, and obviously when Ozzie was leaving, he got the shaft from La Russa because Ozzie was too big a fixture, and he competed for attention with La Russa, and La Russa's ego could not allow somebody else to soak up that attention and have a higher standing with the club. And I think that was a lot of the reasons why he shafted Ozzie back in, 95 or 96?
Yeah, let me tell you another reason why, even though the taint of steroids will never leave this game, thanks to Bud Selig and his cohorts like La Russa and Torrey, Ozzy was such a classy human being and such a good character guy that you can never, ever even think of it. But here's a true story. After that last year in which LaRouche Bag screwed Ozzy still hit 282 his final year. But LaRouche Bag told me the following year in spring training, Ozzy would have never had that good of a year if he hadn't been playing for me. How about that? Those were the words he used to me. So that egomaniac was even taking credit for Ozzy having that great final year. What that was Ozzy Smith's pride determining that he would go out as a star, and he did.
It's funny how he'll take responsibility for that, but not how he allowed the steroid culture to take over the game of baseball.
He didn't know anything about that.
Oh, no, then he's dumb to that. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Hey, our good friends at Chuck's Boots want you to know two things. They have the two largest boot stores in the world. Each has over 40,000 to 50,000 pairs of boots. They want you to know a couple more things, too, though. I lied. They have women's fashion jeans at Chuck's Boots. Miss Me, Rock Revival, Silver Jean Company. And they guarantee the lowest prices on women's fashion jeans, and they have thousands of pairs in stock. So you can't go to the jean store, the department store, and get the size you need all the time. But you can at Chuck's Boots, and you'll pay less. What a winning combination. Every style of boot, every popular brand of boot, work boots, Western boots, motorcycle boots, uniform boots, hiking boots, all the Western boots you can imagine. Over 10,000 pairs of women's cowboy boots alone. Motorcycle boots, you name it, they've got it. Largest selection of motorcycle bags, chaps, jackets, vests, and helmets in our town. Western shirts, jeans, hats, belts, jewelry. Work bibs, work jackets, work pants, work shirts. 2 locations at Chuck's Boots in Fenton on Gravois and another one in St. Peter's on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off of Highway 70. The 2 largest boot stores in the world, Chuck's Boots. Take a break. We're coming right back on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC King Scored right after this.
I'm Kathy Cutis, part of the 4th generation of the Tom Cutis family. The Cutis family is here to personally guarantee that when the time arrives for funeral arrangements, no one will be pressured to make decisions that would not fit your family needs. Our trained, licensed funeral directors will answer your questions and you make the decisions. If you feel you are in a situation that does not give you the time to decide what is best for your family, you are in the wrong place. Contact Cutis Funeral Homes, affordability with dignity for over 100 years.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes, which will motivate and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final start at 6. This is a national physique qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure, physique, bikini classes, along with masters, teens, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center, Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
When you need work done on your home, who do you call? A big major contractor? Some no-name guy with a sign on his truck? Or a locally owned business with 21 years experience in the area you can trust? CBS Construction will come out and give you a free estimate for the job you want done. Specializing in roofs and exteriors, CBS Construction can make the home improvement process easy and a finished product you can trust and be proud of. Call 314-723-0177 today. That's 314-723-0177.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right, every woman who calls right now can get a full-size, risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253. Or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
Finally, the holidays are over, and I have a few New Year's resolutions for you to start 2014 off right. When your sex life is great, life seems great, and it's a fact that people who have sexual stimulation 4 or more times a week, according to Oxford University, are happier, more confident, and make more money. You might not be able to have more sex or even have a partner at this time, but the key word was stimulation. Pure Pleasure at any of their 5 locations near you in St. Louis, St. Peters, Pevely, St. Charles, and Fairview Heights, Illinois can help you with a variety of toys, DVDs, and other items to help in this area. Pure Pleasure locations are ready to serve you and have what you need to make 2014 happier and more productive in many ways. There's nothing embarrassing or more natural than sex and the desire for it. And better sex is something Pure Pleasure can help you with today. Stop by any of their 5 area locations or visit purepleasurestl.com. purepleasurestl.com.
Sit up straight. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
We welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you. You can also stream us live at talkstl.com. Talkstl.com, crystal clear signal. Just download the free app and away you go. Hey, you want to buy a home that has a lot of history to it? If you live in South Bend, Indiana, you can buy Newt Rockney's former home. It's for sale. Only one other family lived in it except for the Rockneys. $500,000. It's a nice size Tudor-style home. The Rockneys lived there in 1931 when he was killed in a plane crash. His wife lived there till she died, and then one other family bought it, and they've been in it ever since. The history is yours in South Bend. It's on a double lot, so you got some land. $500,000. Maybe it'll make you a better coach. Maybe. Well, the Window World Rewind of topics brought to you by our good friends at Window World. 314-993-1800 gets you a free in-home estimate at the home of the original $189 window guys. Any size white vinyl double hung windows, just $189. We talked about the Cardinals backing themselves into a division championship and then celebrating, which I thought was a little bizarre. They play the Dodgers first round. The Royals play tonight in Kansas City. We talked about the Mizzou, South Carolina game. We talked about my trip to Boston the last 6 days and Derek Jeter's final curtain call, which was as touching and loaded with chills as anything I've ever seen. And I plead with the people of Boston that own the Red Sox, John Henry and his gang, and the people that own the Cubs in Chicago, don't ever, ever do anything to those stadiums. They're just too wonderful. And, of course, the Rams, apparently, again, asleep at the switch. Kurt Warner's being inducted into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. The Rams haven't seen fit to retire his number. Rams just can't get it right, can they? It doesn't matter what they touch. It turns to crap. It's just laughable. LaRouche Bags is hell-bent on destroying the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's brought in his former pitcher, Dave Stewart, to be the general manager. That makes a lot of sense. And now Duncan is going to have a more expanded role and interview managerial candidates. Now, LaRouche told me way back when we were talking that Dave Duncan does not have managerial material. He is just not material. Doesn't have the qualities. But yet he's going to just help determine who the manager is. That's how full of crap LaRouche is. But he always talks out of both sides of his mouth. He says he wants a guy who's pulled the trigger even at the minor league level because that goes a long way. And yet he never pulled the trigger as a president of a team or running an organization. But the Diamondbacks hired him. He's just so full of it. That organization is going to fail miserably. And I love him saying, I didn't even think of going in the dugout. You guys have seen my tired act. Yeah, you're right. And it is tiring. And it was an incompetent act. Absolutely. I think we've seen the end of the Brady Belichick era in New England in terms of it being successful. Obviously, Tom Brady's still going to play. Bill Belichick's still going to coach. But that is one bad football team. It's as bad as they get, really. And we can all rest easier now because we all know that George Clooney is married. And I, for one, will have no more sleepless nights. I kept wondering, when is he going to get married?
It's a $13 million wedding.
Is that what it cost?
You still going to be able to sleep at night?
He could have had a $7 million wedding and given $7 million to us.
That would have been the nice thing to do.
Still would have been one hell of a wedding.
And then we would have turned around and given half to charity because that's how we roll.
That's right. So everybody would have profited from that. The charities, us, him. And he would have been thought of as a higher power to some people. Us. JoJo's up in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, JoJo.
Hello, Kevin. I got two questions for you. One of them sports and one of them non-sports. On the Dodgers, what are the chances of La Russa hiring McGuire to be the manager?
I think the chances are good. I think that that's a travesty to baseball, of course. But, the guy who says he wants somebody who's pulled the trigger, I believe he'd go ahead and hire his steroid cheat friend. No question about it.
Do you think McGuire would want a managerial position?
Oh, yes. That ego is as runaway as La Russa's is. He thinks he invented hitting.
Yeah, I guess if you're willing to be a batting coach, obviously you're willing to be. You would definitely want the upgrade to be a manager then.
Oh, there's no doubt, and he knows he'd be protected by his buddy LaRouche bag.
Okay, and I got a quick question. It's totally non-sports related, and I've asked family members on this. I've gotten conflicting opinions, and I wanted yours because I know you're pretty active. You've been pretty active in your son's life. Long story short, I have a daughter. She's her first year in college.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been a straight A student, mainly A's and B's, but in high school was a straight A average. And she took her first test in a biology class. She's studying for nursing. And the long story short, got the worst test score basically in her whole life. She got a 59. The class average was a 54. And it's a big course. There's 150 students in it. She complained to me about the teacher from day one. Now, as a father, do you step back and let the daughter handle the class her way, or do you discuss this with the teacher? Because she is in college, and her view is, hey, she's an adult now, she should handle this on her own. But there's something going on with this teaching method for her to get that score. That's totally out of character for her.
Yeah,
as a father, how would you handle it if it were your son?
In college, I would let him, or in your case, her, handle it. I would give her guidance, though. I would suggest to her that she goes to the teacher first, and if she can't get satisfied there, that she should go over his head to the dean of the department and find out why it is that a class averages a 54 on a test. If a big class averages 54, there's a teaching issue. There isn't any question about that. If it were high school, I'd probably call the principal.
She's not the only reason I want to get involved, and I understand you got to let your kids handle the responsibility. She's not aggressive by nature, and I want her to learn. This is where the input will come in. I want her to learn to stand up for herself and get her point across. Where at the end of the day, this guy isn't teaching properly for her and the whole class to do that. And like I said, so you think it's better off letting her handle it because she is an adult?
I do. And but I think that's the guidance you give her, is to try the teacher first. Always try the perpetrator first, then go over their head if you fail at that.
I've got a little advice you could give her as well. I'm just about to finish college. Tell her to go on a website called ratemyprofessor.com. I'm guessing whatever school she's at sounds like a major state-run university, probably a foreign professor trying to teach who doesn't understand the English language very well. I know a lot of people who've ran into the same issue. So just tell her to go to ratemyprofessor.com before she signs up for classes, and it does an amazing job telling you what the professor will be like before you take it.
Yeah, maybe she can ignore these kinds of people in the future. But I would, based on her academic career, there's something wrong there with the teacher. You combine her academic career with the rest of the students in that class. They're not all 54 scores. They're all those kids in that class aren't stupid. So to average 54, she sounds like this.
Teacher, do you think he takes pride in that? Where it's not going to be easy. How does the teacher feel when the class averages a 54?
I would think he or she would feel like a complete failure. That's what I would feel like if I were teaching a class where nobody could pass the test.
You'd be shocked how many classes actually have that. You can find all these numbers on their whatever college that she's at website too. There'll be more classes.
RateMyProfessor.com is the name.
That's the name of the site to find the professor and then student reviews on the professor. Usually you'll find dozens of student reviews on the professor, but each university has to have documentation of test results and class averages on their website. And you'll actually go and you can see the class average. I'm not saying your daughter's lying to you, but you can see the proof of what she's saying will be there. You can present that to the dean or whoever you take it to. You'll actually find that these 50 averages are a lot more common than you'd expect.
That's a disgrace.
Interesting. I appreciate it, guys. Good stuff.
All right,
Thank
JoJo, thank you. We'll talk at you tomorrow or the next day or whenever. That's going to wrap us for today, though. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Love you, Gary. So long, everyone.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be?